Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello. How is everyone? How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
What?
Why did you say it like that?
What is it like?
You're
What?
like, I'm very good, thank you.
I am very good.
Good. I'm very glad to hear
I'm
it.
very good.
Good, yes.
Just another day in the life of the Eldritch Podblast.
Just another day in the life.
How could it not be a good day?
Indeed. Yeah, you said it best. So, yes. Hello, welcome to episode 17. 17 weeks we've been doing this.
No, it's not.
Last week we were trying to work out how long we've been doing it.
See, now
for.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not. Because last time you did think it was 16
because
weeks.
we were on episode 16, I was like, God, we've been doing this for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
No. We'd been doing it for 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
This will be 9th.
Yes.
So, yes. Actually, that leads us very nicely onto what I would like to announce. Next.
I decree
that as of Monday, we became monetized on YouTube. We were accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, which, just to let you guys know, we started this on the 16th of January. That's when we uploaded the first one.
Yeah.
We had like our year structured ahead of us, being like, okay, by the end of 2023, going into 2024, we want to be accepted into the partnership program.
Yeah, that was like, like a little goal of ours. We would like make the podcast.
Yeah.
And we thought no one would watch.
Yeah,
because
this is a
then
passion.
someone might watch, and then that means somebody else might watch.
Yeah.
And then we might get like, a couple of viewers by the end of the year, and we'll just like, even if, it's not going like.
It's a passion. It was a passion project
like,
for us
if it
because
wasn't
we have
quite,
full-time jobs and stuff.
Yeah, if it wasn't quite going like a million miles an hour, that didn't matter.
It didn't matter because we
that
just
wasn't
wanted
what it was
to do
about.
it. But my goodness gracious, has it not gone a million miles an hour?
Yeah.
And here we are. And I keep saying it. We keep saying it. We couldn't have gotten here without you guys.
Yeah.
You are literally the people fueling this whole thing.
Yeah.
And we can't believe it. And as always, we just want to say a really big thank you to everyone who literally got us to this point, which we once again thought it was going to take like a year to get
16
here.
episodes in, and we were already monetized,
Yeah.
and we were just sort of.
We
just crazy.
We literally.
Yeah.
I feel like we're talking about it like in a slightly detached way because I just can't believe that we are literally at this point now. It doesn't feel real that we're at this point.
And that was, like the whole. You don't start a Dungeons and Dragons podcast on YouTube to make money. Yeah. But the fact that like we're 16 episodes in, and we and like we will start getting paid for we hope you don't mind watching.
Yeah, we hope you don't. We hope you don't mind
like,
the ads and
getting like car finance deals advertised to you like before
Subway and stuff.
Yeah.
We
hope you don't mind that.
Yeah. And
thank you for your patience.
To be honest, we had planned in the future to look at other avenues for you guys to be able to support us and us to be able to potentially get it off the ground like this. Those plans are probably going to be pushed forward, and we're going to be exploring other ways for you to be able to support us other than just watching ads on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know that there's already been a bunch of talk about like Discord.
Yes,
like
make your Discord, make your Patreon, doing some live streams with Patreons and stuff like that.
And like it's weird, isn't it? Because you're like, why would anybody want to join a Discord?
Anyone?
Of me and you?
Why would anyone pay to be involved in any of this? Which is insane to us. But
so, like, we like obviously see all your comments and we listen to what you say.
Yeah.
So if you've got any suggestions as to how you would like to
very much so
move forward like, with us together, like all of us together, let us know.
Like, is there things you would like? Like, we've talked about potentially running some one-shots with you guys or doing live streams or, I don't know, bringing you guys in to see what goes into the making of our campaigns and all of this. We don't really know.
Yeah, it's like, it's the podcast is the thing that stays.
Yes.
Like, the podcast is like 2 episodes a week.
2 episodes a week, no matter what.
And we just keep chugging along with that. And then if anybody else wants to see anything else, then let us know. And if there's enough demand for it, then we'll try and get that going.
We'll try and get it sorted.
Yeah.
Right now, it's very much a fish out of water.
Yeah,
we're
just
not sure what we're doing.
Just recording podcasts, and everyone's like, "You should do this, and you should do this," and we're like,
And
"Okay."
the thing is, we want to do what you guys want to see. We want to do right by you.
Yeah, we don't want to do it because well, we do this because we want to do this. This is already like what we wanted to do was the podcast. Yeah. So if there's anything, like we're already accumulating like a small community of like-minded people who love D&D and love it to be, this safe space and love it to be this inclusive space.
Yeah.
And we want you to have that space, and if there's anything that you want from that space, like
just
maybe we can accommodate that for you.
Exactly. This is all for you. So if you want something, just ask. And if we can do it, we will try. And if there's enough demand, we will try. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So go on. Shall we hit them with the heart?
Oh, go on.
Shall we hit them with the heart?
Yeah. We'll hit them with the heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We cannot believe how welcomed we have been into all of this, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's been pretty cool.
And then on to the next topic that I would like to discuss.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yes.
We mentioned it in last episode, and we said that a couple of episodes were on Spotify.
Yeah.
This is our announcement.
Yes.
And we will put up a post on our community tab.
Yes.
We will upload it on all of our social medias.
YouTube won't like that.
Listen, we are now on Spotify.
Yes.
And we are up to date on Spotify.
Yes.
So every Monday and Thursday, we will upload to Spotify in exactly the same way we upload to YouTube.
Yes.
That happen around the same time. I can't promise exactly the same time, but around the same time.
But yeah, you guys, that's what so many people wanted that.
Spotify. Yeah, exactly.
And it took us, a little bit of time. It's literally just it takes ages to upload.
It just takes absolutely ages to upload.
And, because we work from home.
We're using our computers.
We use our computers all the time, and then that just absolutely wrecks the computer.
Exactly.
So we just had to find moments where we were like eating tea, upload one to Spotify. We're going to sleep tonight, leave the computer on, and upload it to Spotify.
So this is it. This is the announcement.
Yes.
We are on Spotify
We are on Spotify podcasts.
And we are working on Apple Podcasts as well.
Yes.
But Apple Podcasts is a bit more difficult for reasons that I don't fully understand
Neither
yet.
do I, because I have nothing to do with it. That's all Marcus.
Yeah. So, that's that announcement.
Nice.
I actually have one announcement that has just come to light as of this morning.
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to say.
We woke up and we have a TikTok account, and we woke up to a mention. We got quite a few mentions, but this mention in particular
was quite special.
Was from a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Who's in the community. I call them Pip.
Yeah.
And they confirmed it's okay to call them Pip.
I was going to say, you call them Pip. Is that actually their name?
So the name's Philippa.
Okay.
And the handle is philippamorgan.design on TikTok.
Nice.
And we woke up to a stitch of Pip saying that I had shown some commission artwork that I had done of my druid, Rayla.
Yeah.
And Pip's done some fan art of Rayla. And I was like, I'm going to keel over and die if this happens. I was in bed, keeled over and died in bed. Yeah. First of all, I'll put up the actual TikTok, like, here.
Here? This one? Here?
It's probably playing now.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
And now we're talking over it.
And said that they're going to do some fan art of Rayla, which is very exciting. I can't wait to see. I'm so excited.
Well, even the little draft that we saw.
Oh my god, I know. Even just like the actual sketch, I know.
I wish I could draw.
Oh my
just
god.
Like just to see that like that sketch.
Yeah,
I know. How did you just look at that picture of Rayla?
I know.
And then
go
change the angle of it.
I know.
And then draw like just
to
from
perceive her in a 3D space.
And you can tell you can tell they're like the same person.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I just don't know how you do that.
Just from a sketch.
If I try, every single person I ever draw looks the exact same.
I can't draw.
Because I can't draw.
I can't draw either. If I could draw, it would be over for everyone. That's all I'm saying. But a huge thank you to Pip, Philippa.
And shout out. Yeah.
It's not finished as of like right now, so it's just the sketch that I've put up.
But go follow Pip on TikTok.
Yes, please
to keep up with the updates on Rayla.
Yes, please do. I will also link their website as well, which is their portfolio.
Oh, really?
They've done quite a bit of artwork. It's lovely, inclusive, safe space artwork that is just amazing.
Love that.
Very incredibly talented artist.
Nice.
So please go
link that as well.
Pip.
That's awesome.
Please go Philo Pip.
Philo Pip. Go
And,
Philo Pip.
I obviously messaged him first and said that I was going to mention it on the podcast. And they just said it was a nice way for them to be able to support us, which
that is so cool.
Thank you.
That's so amazing.
Really appreciate that. Thank you.
How cool is that? How cool is that? A fan of your podcast has just drawn your D&D character. How mad's that?
I know. So that's very.
That's like don't know. Just don't think that's gonna happen to you.
I know. I've actually got goosebumps thinking about
it. So weird.
I know. So yes.
I am so excited to see what that looks like.
I am so excited.
It already looks so good.
I can't believe it. I know. So, with all of those announcements out of the way, is there anything you would like to update the people on? Come on.
We're closing in on our Keystone Hero on World of Warcraft.
Yes, we are.
Last week was a very bad week. The affixes were really bad.
Absolutely terrible.
They were sanguine. I know nobody probably knows what this means, but they were sanguine and bursting, and that was just a horrible, horrible week.
It wasn't sanguine and bursting. It was...
Yeah. No, it wasn't sanguine. It was grievous and bursting. Just a healer's nightmare. You were sat in the queue, and you just couldn't find a healer.
Horrible.
But we're very close to our Keystone Hero.
Yes.
2,500. We're about to hit 2,400.
Yep, we are done with the raid for this tier.
Yeah, done with the raid for this tier.
We are done.
I'm tanking next tier.
Yes, you are.
And my bear, which, this tier hasn't been particularly good for bear. Yeah. And I imagine next tier probably won't be very good for bear either. Because bear is never really that good.
Yeah, well, you're still a great tank, and we need one. So
yeah, I just hate sitting in the Mythic Plus queue waiting for people. So if you have a tank, that just halves to the... Yeah. Unless it's grievous and bursting.
Yes, in which
it doesn't matter how quick you get a tank.
Because you're not going to get a healer.
Because you're not going to get a healer.
Understandably.
But yeah, we did that. Dog's feeling a lot better.
Yep. Oh, yes. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Who said, I hope your dog's feeling better. I'm sorry. He's absolutely so much better now.
Yeah. He's, he gets a lot of skin issues.
A lot of skin issues.
Just because of his breed.
But thankfully, the vets around here are great.
Yeah,
and
they love him very much.
Him, and
they know him because we're in there every 5 minutes.
Yeah. And we basically have antibiotics on tap now.
Yes.
So, yes.
It is what it is. It's the life of owning a bull terrier.
It truly is.
But he's great.
He is.
He's, living his best life.
And therefore,
eating,
we are great.
Walking,
much better.
Sleeping.
Sleeping right now.
Just having a great time, yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
I would like to update people on my weird things I do in my sleep.
Yeah.
Because
there was a really weird one about 2 nights ago.
I am going through a weird phase of doing strange things in my sleep.
Yeah.
And
there was two.
So I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before I mentioned some of the strange things I've been doing. They get stranger. So if you don't have any context to this, I basically wake up a lot and I sleep talk and I say really strange things.
Yeah.
So the other night, the first one, which wasn't as weird, I woke up and I was obviously having a conversation with Jack in my sleep.
Yeah.
And I continued it out loud.
Yeah.
And Jack woke up and was like, "What are you saying?" And I was like, I woke up and I was like, "Oh no, it doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it."
And then you were like, because last time when I tried to talk, you were like, "Why are you taking so long?"
Yeah, because you were trying to explain an entire dream while I and you were still asleep, and I was like, "Man, can you hurry up and finish this one?"
I think you like subconsciously felt bad, so you were like, "No.
Well, you can tell me. Tell me what's going on."
I just remember being like, "Well, in WoW, I just wish when I took damage, it was spread across the whole team and not just on
Margaret
me."
Margaret has a complex because hunters this tier are particularly
squishy.
So it's haunting her in her dream.
Our raid lead and our healers hate me.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Because you're a nightmare to keep alive.
Understandably. So I was obviously having dreams about that. And I kind of woke up in the middle of saying this and I was like, what am I saying?
Margaret's, after we get our Keystone Hero, Margaret's going to try and play a Drakthea.
I am. I'm going to try and level up a healer. And I am notoriously a terrible healer. But
well, she's only ever played one healer and it wasn't even at max level. So she can't say that.
We will see. We will see.
She's never actually tried at max level.
This is true.
What was the other one?
The
other one was just... this is just...
Let me paint you a picture.
Typical Margaret dream.
It is the dead of night.
Yeah.
Not even a mouse.
No.
What's the... Anyway, not even there was silence.
Yeah, the dog was snoozing away nice and quietly, peacefully.
The ambient noises of the dog snoring and us snoring too. I'm laying facing a window and I open my eyes.
Yeah.
And I see the blind opening by itself. Okay. We have pulley blinds.
Yeah.
So I, of course, seeing a blind open by itself, panic.
Yeah.
I turn around. Yeah. I smack you.
You do.
And I'm like, something really weird is happening.
Yeah.
And you obviously terrified.
Yeah.
Looked,
I was like, what's happening? What's happening?
and I was like, the blind's opening by itself. And we both were watching, and I was like,
we must have been watching for a solid minute, both of us,
and I
just
was like,
staring at it.
Watch it, it's going.
It's going up, it's going up.
That's weird. Who's doing that? It wasn't.
It wasn't going anywhere.
It wasn't. Nothing was happening. Obviously, the blind wasn't opening by itself.
Shut up, Maggie. Go to sleep.
Yeah. So that's the weird things I've been doing in my sleep.
Just standard stuff.
And if I have any more weird things, I'll update you guys.
Yeah.
So
you've been okay. You were alright last night. You didn't do anything last night.
I feel like I did do something last night.
Nah,
I feel like I woke up with a shock last night. I wake up with shocks a lot as
She
well.
wakes up with shocks most nights. But no, I don't think you did anything last night. I was quite tired last night, so I was out.
Pooped.
So even if something happened, I might not remember.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what's happening today?
So,
what's happening on the Podblast with the Squad Blasters?
Oh my god! That was another thing I wanted to mention. Jack
Blasters.
Jack signed off with calling you guys Squad Blasters, and I, you know what? I'm talking to all of you. I don't appreciate all of the people being like, Squad Blaster. You're hashtagging.
Everyone was like ganging up like, Margaret, join us.
People are hashtagging Squad Blasters, and someone said Squad Blaster Sam. Someone said Squad Blasters out.
Squad Blaster Sam out.
Blaster Sam out. So
Squad Blasters.
I just want everyone to know Squad Blasters is not sticking.
Squad Blasters is sticking.
That is my final say on it.
Everybody who wants Squad Blasters to stick, just type Squad Blasters, copy and paste it, and then just go Squad Blasters, Squad Blasters, Squad Blasters,
Don't
Squad
do
Blasters,
that.
until it maxes out the comment,
and
then post it, and then post another comment doing that again.
Don't do that.
Show the power of the Squad Blasters.
No, there is no Squad
Show
Blasters.
Margaret the power.
No, I am decreeing.
You're decreeing, are you?
That
you can't decree on all of us.
We're not calling your Squad Blasters.
Squad Blasters unite.
Anyway.
Squad Blasters.
This episode, friends,
is brought to you by the Squad Blasters.
This episode,
sponsored by Squad Blasters,
is once again your submissions. I cannot believe how many submissions we've been getting recently.
The squad submissions.
Oh my
the Squad Blasters
god!
Submissions.
No, well, actually, one of our viewers, Sherry, they actually put a comment saying like, because we can't call the submissions the Reddit. Here's some suggestions. One of them was Tome of Submissions instead of Tome of Shadows.
That's so cool.
How cool is that? So going forward, we're going to be calling it the Tome of Submissions.
Some submissions from the Tome of Submissions.
We're going to get some artwork started. We're going to get it actually branded and...
Margaret's having a look at doing some artwork last night.
Yes. So
it looked cool. It's not ready just yet.
Not ready just yet. But yes, these are all submissions. And we're breaking it up into... This is what we tried to do in the last episode. And when I was like, is it going to be okay with you guys if we talk for like 2 hours? Strap in, because actually like strap in, my friends.
This might be a long one.
This actually might be a long one. And we've been talking for like 20 minutes so
just
far.
Updating the people.
Just updating the people.
Just updating the blasters. The Squad Blasters.
Okay. So we're going to be doing a mix between Am I the Arsehole? And general advice questions.
Amazing.
Because we didn't have enough to do just one Am I the Arsehole.
I think we did.
I
think we had enough of the advice.
We had enough of the advice, but I love doing the Am I the Arsehole ones. I also love doing the advice. I do enjoy the advice more, but hey,
just
you got to give the people what the people want.
Yeah. And you guys keep submitting them, so we're going to keep talking about them.
So we have 10 submissions in total.
10 Squad Blaster submissions.
We're going to be addressing them as advice question number 1, Am I the Arsehole number 1? Advice number 2, Am I the Arsehole? Etc.
That's okay. Just tell them what it is at the beginning.
Indeed. No. I'm just gonna make them guess.
Yeah.
You just have to guess if it's a
Am I the Arsehole or an advice?
Okay. So without any further dilly-dallying.
Yeah, we've been dilly-dallying.
Shall we get into it?
Go for it.
Okay. I would like to open up with advice question number 1.
Okay.
And this has been submitted by...
I like how you still say, like, number 1. As if by the end of this episode, you're going to remember what number we're on.
I will. I've written them down this time.
You're going to try and...
I've written them down.
Okay, all right.
I've written them down.
Everybody hold it at that.
Written them down. So, this has been submitted by Jay the Silly, who likes frogs and snakes.
I love that.
They didn't leave any pronouns, so just they them.
I feel like I know you already. I feel like
Jay the Silly,
we're best friends.
Who likes frogs and snakes?
Who likes frogs and snakes?
So, hey, new listener. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Jay.
Hello, Jay the Silly.
I DM a group of 5. My style is more silly for the fun kind of DM.
Nice.
2 of my 5 players are more character-driven, roleplay-focused type players.
Okay.
So what's more important for me? To stick to who I am as a DM, or try to add some more serious tones that I'm not totally comfortable pulling off so they can potentially have more fun? What do I do?
All right. Okay. That is a tough one, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm the complete opposite to you, which is totally fine. I like quite a serious game, but at the same time, we mess about in the tavern, and I make stupid NPCs that do stupid things.
Yeah.
And,
the silliness is part of D&D.
Yeah, the silliness is part of D&D.
And so is the seriousness,
And so is,
honest.
you can, if you're a DM that loves the silliness, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm,
and nobody, and it doesn't sound like your players are trying to change you or anything like that.
Oh, no.
It sounds like you're trying to just be the best DM you can before your table.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the two players have approached Jay and been like, could we be more serious?
I think just are more character driven.
I think Jay's just trying to be more encompassing for their players.
So I'm gonna say 2 things. Don't personally. This is something that I have come to realize as I have DM'd for longer and longer and longer. If you don't like it, don't do it, because to me, I get burnt out trying to DM in a style that isn't how I just naturally do. Yeah. Because then I have to try and be something I'm not. And when I try to be something I'm not, I don't enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And when I don't enjoy it, I get burnt out and don't want to do it.
Yes. So it's like a cycle.
Yeah, so it's like a cycle. If you do want to do it for your players, amazing for you. That's super, super awesome that you would want to try and fit each player around your table, because all players are different.
Yes.
What I would honestly do before you do that is, they might have written this backstory, but know that you aren't going to explore it. I would speak to them and say, do you want your backstories explored? These stories that you've created, do you want them explored? And if so, how much? Because we spend, sessions and sessions and sessions and sessions, and there's 5 or 6 sessions in a row that's
based on
trying to
backstory
complete someone's backstory.
Yes,
which 5 or it might not sound like a lot, but that's 40, 50 hours of someone's backstory. So, we go heavy in that, and my players know that, so they write the backstories in.
Yeah.
But if you don't, if your players aren't wanting that, then don't try and be something that you're not for someone if they're not even too fussed.
Yeah. And I think what you said at the end there is ask them. I honestly would open the whole conversation up and say, would you like it if there was more of this roleplay driven character backstory stuff in here? And if there is, what are you looking for? Because when you actually have a baseline of what they want, you can then see if maybe it might not actually be too far away from how you actually DM now, Jay. Yeah. There might be things that you can incorporate in your own way that will keep you happy, and then they will also be able to, like you said, get more, be potentially more pulled into it.
Yeah, they might just say just one session.
Yeah.
Just tie it up in one session.
It could just be one little thing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're not totally comfortable pulling it off. The only advice for that is you won't know until you try it.
Yeah, and you can mention that to the players and be like, you've both written quite serious character-driven backstories. I'm not particularly well-versed or comfortable with doing super serious stuff. Yeah. Would you mind if, I can do it for you if you want. What do you want? Would you be comfortable with me, sillying it up a bit?
Yeah, it sounds like you're willing to work around what your players want, which is the most important thing here. Yeah. Is the fact that it seems like you're willing to want to. You mentioned, do I stick to who I am as a DM, or do I try to make it potentially more fun for my players? So you care.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that could go wrong with having a conversation with them and just find out exactly. They might not want.
They might not even want it.
Yeah, they might not even
want
it.
They might just be more than happy to turn up and have a silly, goofy time. And
exactly.
That's fine. But I think it's worth just asking the question.
Definitely. And like Jack said, just make them clear that it's not something I'm fully comfortable with.
It's not normally your style.
Yeah, I think they'll just appreciate the fact that you're willing to try.
Yeah, even just being like, it's not my normal style, but I can definitely do it if you want. And they could literally turn around and be like, it's okay, it's fine. We're more than happy to just turn up and play.
Exactly.
Just ask the question, I think.
I think so. I think that will clear up a lot of the grey area here.
Do you want to know what? If you try it, if you do one of them and you just really don't like it, or you don't feel like it went particularly well,
just say.
And
at least you tried.
At least you tried.
Exactly. I think have a conversation with them, Jay.
Yeah.
And if you do, please let us know. Please chase it up with us and let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Jay the Silly.
Thank you, Jay the Silly.
Who likes frogs and snakes?
Who likes frogs and snakes? Okay, so this is an Am I the Arsehole submission.
Okay.
This was submitted by...
I'm going to have to switch my mindset for each one.
Yeah.
Because remember before we did a horror story and I was like, who's the asshole here? And you were like,
no one.
Not doing that, Jack.
This is just a story.
Not that episode.
Yeah, you're going to call someone.
I'm going to call somebody who's going for some advice and be like, such an asshole.
You stupid asshole.
Sorry, carry on.
Refreshing.
Yeah, yes, let me indulge.
So, yes, this is an Am I the Arsehole submission. This is number 1 of Am I the Arsehole?
But number 2 in total, yeah?
Number 2 in total. Oh, no, I am going to get messed up here, aren't I?
Everybody. Eyes like a hawk.
I am going to get turned around. So, this was submitted by Anonymous, but they said their pronouns are he, him.
Okay.
So, this is tied into your discussion about TPKs. We're on our second campaign. DM and 3 original players, a druid, a rogue, and me as a sorcerer. From the first campaign, and 1 additional for the second, a cleric. We also currently have an NPC bard level 1 with us, while the rest of us are level 6. I can see you smiling. And is that because that's exactly the same makeup as our party right now?
Yeah. And they're on the second campaign?
Yeah.
They're on the second campaign.
Yeah.
They've already finished one campaign.
Yeah.
And now they're playing a druid, a sorcerer, and a rogue.
Yeah.
So that's you, Josh, and Matthew.
Yeah, and then Abby.
And then Abby's joined.
A cleric.
I
know. When I read this, because I obviously read them before I put them into this, I read this and I literally screenshotted that first bit and sent it to the group, and I was like, have one of you sent in a submission as a joke? Because they always
joke about that they're going to do it.
Like,
I hate my DMs the worst.
And I was like, I honestly thought that. And then the next sentence, our first campaign was our first time playing D&D together, and we all loved it. And after a good 8 months of playing once a week, we're very attached with our characters and obviously don't want them to die. And our cleric has been playing with us for maybe 2 months. I know the timing isn't exactly
It's not exactly,
the same.
but it's close.
How strange
so weird,
is that?
Isn't it?
Great party makeup.
Yeah, nice.
Great party makeup.
Nice composition there.
Indeed. So, due to real life commitments, we had 2 weeks in a row that one of the group couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
A different person each time.
Yeah.
The first time was our druid, and with a mixture of not knowing the character's stats and thinking we just couldn't do them justice.
Yeah.
And more importantly, we didn't want to get them killed.
Yeah.
We left them with a friendly NPC to learn about the trees. We ended that session getting surrounded by some enemies, one of which could brand us to not be able to see them.
Cool.
The next session, the person who plays our druid was back, but the cleric was absent. And to continue the narrative mid-fight, the person who is usually the druid decided to pilot the cleric, but with no stats and unfamiliar to the class.
Okay.
For an added bonus, our rogue is suffering 3 levels of exhaustion.
Oh my goodness.
A very weak
What's
bard.
that? 3 levels of exhaustion?
So it's
disadvantage on like skill checks.
Yeah.
And then it's
half movement. Then it's disadvantage on attacks.
So disadvantage on attacks is a rogue.
Yeah, pretty rough. So 3 levels of exhaustion, a very weak bard, a person playing a totally unfamiliar character, and a rogue who is made to be pretty useless. Not a very good setup for a fight.
Not how you want to go into a fight.
Agreed. I managed to kill most of the grunts while the cleric did damage control, but no one could see the leader. I'm realizing now that this is actually an Am I the Asshole? Not an advice.
Yeah, we knew that.
Did we?
Yeah.
I've fallen at
You're doing to me.
Hurdle. I'm so sorry. I've fallen at the first hurdle here.
Yeah. We know this isn't Am I the Asshole.
We know this.
Yeah.
We know this. Sorry. I thought we did.
Keep going.
Okay.
You haven't messed up.
Not a very good setup for the fight.
No.
I managed. How do you guys listen to us? How do you listen
just
to
a
this?
mess.
Why are you here? I managed to kill most of the grunts while the cleric did damage control, but no one could see the leader. The bard was down, but stabilized.
Okay.
Then the rogue and the cleric went down too. And I had 7 HP left and was out of shield spells. I had 1 potion of healing, so used it on the cleric so they could then get the rogue up. My next turn, I cast Fly and I got up high to get out of range as my firebolt could reach 240 feet.
Okay. I imagine this is the sorcerer.
Yes, I'm assuming this
the
is
double
the
length
sorcerer.
spell.
Yes, I can only assume so.
Yeah.
The rest of my party went down again pretty quick. I didn't really have any options as there was an enemy I couldn't see, so I decided to cut the brand off so I could see him, but my attacks weren't doing much. I saw him start messing with the bodies, but had no idea what to do, and my party were jokingly giving me grief for running away. The way I saw it, I was no help dead and was trying all I could to take him out. And it would have been a TPK, everyone's down, right?
Yeah.
The jokes carried on, which guilted me to fly down close to try and do something, and I was downed instantly. I was quietly fuming. My face was like thunder. If looks could kill, my face would have been a 9th level spell. It turns out the leader had stabilized everyone as he was taking us all prisoner. However, our DM did tell us if any other person or any other fight, we would have been TPK'd. One of the party members messaged me privately to see if I was okay because he never saw me looking so annoyed. He said he was only joking, but realised it was a poor joke at a stressful time. I usually listen to Critical Role campaigns or something similar, but that encounter left a sour taste in my mouth for days, so I'm avoiding all things D&D. Did I overreact, or was I justified for being meta-guilted? Thank you for taking the time to read, and really enjoy your Podblast. Thank you.
What was the name?
Just anonymous.
Anonymous Squad Blaster. Thank you for your submission.
God.
So
This is
hard.
This is a horrible situation to be in, to be honest.
Because
there's a lot of things not stacked in your favour here.
No. And also, somebody was piloting a person that they don't know.
Yeah.
Your rogue had 3 levels of exhaustion, which renders them nigh on useless.
Pretty much useless, right?
Because you could do the
rogue with half movement. It probably is still more movement than most people.
More movement than most people. But and the whole point is you don't get that many attacks because if you land an attack,
you get sneak attack. Yeah,
sick.
Exactly.
You get that bonus. It depends if you're playing with Tashes. You could do the bonus action thing to gain advantage.
Yeah.
Then it would have been just a straight roll.
Yeah. The odds were not in your favour here.
No, but the thing is, we've mentioned this on the podcast before. In high stress situations like that, I don't like it. And it sounds like, your friends have apologized and said, we were making jokes and stuff like that.
And they have recognized after the fact.
Yeah. In those moments, the person who's doing the turn or having the action.
And the last person standing as well.
The stress. And you're thinking about not just in that moment. You're not just thinking about what am I doing on my turn. It's whatever I'm doing now dictates what happens.
Going to happen.
Yeah. Do I try and stay alive to try and rescue?
Yeah.
There's
a lot of pressure on you.
I don't like people telling other people what to do in those situations.
Yes.
Because those people aren't there. Those characters aren't there. Those characters aren't alive. It was it was in that moment where, in our campaign, where you wanted to cast whole person.
Yeah,
it could have killed Matthew's character.
It could have, yeah.
But if you'd have pulled it off, things would have been far different.
Yeah.
And the group did say oh, don't do that, and they're not there.
Yeah.
Your character wants to make that decision.
Yeah.
You should be able to make that decision. If you want to stay up high and just watch what's going on, you could have rolled a really great perception check, and then your DM could have been if it had gone just one more turn, your DM could have turned and said, the bad guy's tying them up.
Yeah.
Stabilize them and tied them up.
Yes.
Then you go, okay.
Yeah.
It's not all over. I'm not just going to give myself up.
Yeah. I also think there's something to be said about if you're a DM in this position and you can see that things are getting really tense at the table, because of course they will be. And, people are maybe making jokes and potentially taking digs. At that point, there is nothing wrong with giving the player some outside information and being
and also being okay, it's not your turn.
And also being this is a bad situation.
Yeah, this is a bad situation.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I think it's a tough one because you were in a very alien situation, having somebody who was already in the fight then not be there, and then having somebody else pilot them. So I think your DM did the right thing by not TPKing you and just taking you hostage or something like that.
Gave you a little bit of mercy there.
Yeah, give you a little bit of mercy, but I think your DM did that because of the situation you were in.
Yeah, definitely.
Having somebody come out and somebody come in, and 3 points of exhaustion on your rogue and things like that. The poor NPC level 1 bard down.
Oh man.
No, you're not an asshole.
No, and I don't even think you overreacted.
I don't think you overreacted. It's stressful.
I think in moments like that of high stress, I think overreacting is a very common thing
to do.
Like I would.
We've all done
Christ, it. If that was me, I would have also done exactly the same thing. Yeah. I would have been terrified that a TPK was going to happen, and I would have gotten myself out of there.
Yeah. Don't like get upset with yourself. And the thing is, I can guarantee your party were just making those jokes as a coping mechanism because they were also very stressed.
100%, yeah.
So
and you know what? Your friend did come to you.
Yeah,
did apologize.
That's very good of your friend.
I think that's the most important thing. If maybe that hadn't have happened, I would potentially say like you could potentially have a conversation with him. But it sounds like the conversation's kind of been had.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of been had, and you're right to come away from that session and be a bit downtrodden on D&D and stuff like that. I don't want to just take your time. But it is stressful because we all care, and we've been in situations like that, and the stress levels have been high, and you guys have not like butted heads and stuff like that.
But yeah, I would say probably have butted heads because we're all stressed out. We don't know what to say. Yeah,
but
exactly.
It sounds like you're captured, not dead.
Mm-hmm,
no one died.
Yeah, it could have been so much worse.
I hope you get out of the situation.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But yeah, you're not the asshole.
And I think you potentially were meta-guilted a little bit.
You were extremely meta-guilted.
Like I think I think you were meta-guilted into coming down and doing something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like another level of just because someone thinks you didn't do the right thing doesn't mean you did.
Yeah, it's like everybody acts on their own. Your character has had a life and they react to situations different to some other person's character.
Yeah.
Like I know that if 2 people in your character would probably have flown back down to try and save their friends.
Yes,
whereas
you would have.
I think like Abby's character maybe would have been a little bit more cautious or something like that.
Yeah, and would have actually been able to think outside of the box of.
But to then get meta-guilted into doing something that maybe your character wouldn't do isn't right.
Yes, I agree.
They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I agree very much.
But the fact that they came to you afterwards and said sorry.
Yeah, I feel.
I hope it all gets resolved.
I feel like the situation is over. You're all alive.
Yeah.
There's going to be probably a new exciting arc for you to have like a jailbreak situation. The question is, did I overreact or was I justified? You didn't overreact. No. And I think you were guilted.
Those emotions are very justified in those situations.
Definitely. And to be honest,
we've all been there and had those feelings.
Even the other party members, and they shouldn't have gone about it the way they did, but they were probably overreacting too.
They were
because they were panicking.
Panicking and stressed.
Exactly. I think everyone in that situation. I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
No.
I think everyone should have the stress.
Yeah.
Understandably.
And, you were chucked into a tough situation.
Yeah.
And then it all just went wrong.
Once again, odds were not in your favour, friend.
No one's the asshole.
Thank you for the submission. If you hear this, I hope this at least helps.
Please update us on how your next session went.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, please do.
I'd like to know what happened.
Okay.
I think the bad's going to be the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay. Bad's going to be the example.
Yeah, the bad. Why
the level 1 bad?
The NPC level 1
bad.
If it's going to be anyone, it's going to be the NPC bad.
It's going to be the NPC bad.
Yeah. Okay, so this is advice to number 3.
Ooh,
in total.
Nice. Look at her.
A little hiccup there, but
no. Oh yeah, what in the middle of it when you were like, oh, I just realised this is another.
Yeah. And everyone watching, and you were like, yeah, we know.
We know, Margaret.
Okay, so this is advice number 2. This was submitted by Anonymous, and we're just going to go by they, them.
Okay.
Hi. My husband recently got into D&D in the last few years and has been gung-ho about it. And I love supporting him and what he enjoys. We love to hear that. But I made the mistake of faking an interest in it to make him feel less ashamed by it, since a lot of people look at the D&D community weird. Which,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that stigma is like dropping.
Definitely. It's definitely not the satanic panic than it was back in the 80s.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also it's not just a thing for like everyone does it.
Yeah.
Like,
it popularized by Stranger Things as well.
Yeah, Stranger Things, Critical Role. Like, it's massive now.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Yes, it used to be, the people just dwelling in the basement. And
but I do understand. There is still, no matter what, a stigma of people being like weird nerds, which we
nerds.
are.
We are all weird nerds, but nerds are cool. Nerd is chic.
Yeah. Right. Have you ever used the word chic before?
I don't even know what chic means. But I'm saying it, and I'm standing by it.
That solidifies how much of a nerd you are.
But yes, we understand.
Yes. So I feigned an interest, and it worked. My fake interest has made him comfortable in playing and speaking about it to others and getting more involved. That's good.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's amazing.
But how do I tell him that I'm just not that into it, and I'd rather be doing something else without hurting his feelings or backtracking on all the progress he's made in feeling comfortable?
Okay.
Or should I just stick through it to the end, which I'm more than willing to do?
Okay.
It is slightly fun, and maybe I'm just not playing it right, but I'm unsure in what to do.
Okay.
So this is a very faceted one, as they normally are. First of all...
This is a submission.
This is a submission, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just surprised this person watches the podcast.
Well... But, maybe their husband watches the podcast.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe.
I want to say, first of all, OP, it sounds like good on you for wanting to support your husband.
An amazing person for doing this.
And wanting to make him feel like it's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, because first of all, it's not.
No, of course it's not. No, of course it's not.
But I understand.
Yeah, no, I fully understand.
Okay, let's tackle the... Okay. In my opinion...
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, we're old, look at us, we're 29.
Decrepit.
We got full-time jobs.
Yep.
We got
a dog, got a house.
Got a dog, got a house, got a mortgage, got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Margaret, as we've grown older, follow this is our mantra.
Go on.
We do not do things we do not want to do.
100%.
We don't have time to do it.
We do not. Anything we don't want to do, we simply say thank you, but no.
But no thank you, because,
we don't have time to do it.
We love spending time with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of our spare time is spent together.
Yeah,
playing World of Warcraft, watching The Last of Us.
That's kind of why we started doing this.
Yeah.
So we could have more time to be able to talk about the things we love with the people we love.
We end up sitting down to watch something on the TV, and then we'll just sit and talk about D&D.
Yeah.
And we'll sit and talk about Margaret's character and things like that.
Exactly. So
to me, this is just my personal advice.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know your relationship. I don't know to the full extent. If I were you, if you do not enjoy it, I would be honest with your husband and be 100% honest.
Yeah.
And say, I did, I really committed to it in the beginning because I wanted you to be comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And you are now.
And I'm proud that you are at the point where you're at now.
Yeah, and I did it for you.
Yeah. And I did it because I love you and I wanted to support you. But I'm just,
it's just not that into it. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And I can see you love it. And at the beginning of mine and Margaret's relationship, when relationships are new, I don't know how long you've been together. Is it husband and...
Well, just husband.
Is it husband?
But, they said that they've gotten into D&D in the last few years.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
It's been a little while.
So, I think you deserve to enjoy your time.
You both owe it to each other for you to tell
if
the
you
truth.
Just say to your husband, I love you. I'm so glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You seem to absolutely love it, and I want you to continue playing.
Yeah. It's just not for me.
I don't enjoy it as much as you.
It's just not for me. You've tried it for however long you've tried it. You've tried to enjoy it in different ways, but you just don't.
But the point I was going to make is, at the beginning, we would love to just do things together.
Yeah. We would just anything.
As we've gotten older, Margaret can sit on
TikTok,
and I can sit and watch Critical Role Campaign 3.
We'll be together, but doing separate things.
But there is that fear of when relationships are new of not doing things together means we can't do them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I think you need to make it very, very clear that you are more than happy for your husband to keep playing.
Absolutely.
And you would love it. That's what you want, and that's why you did it.
That's why you did it.
So don't take everything away because I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah, and I again don't know the context of your relationship, but if you have the type of relationship where you are supportive of one another, which it sounds like you are, I think, yes, it could potentially hurt feelings on the surface level, but I think if your husband cares for you as much as you care for him,
which you clearly do,
then he will understand.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I wanted to say was, OP did finish it saying it is slightly fun.
Yeah.
And
that's
maybe,
the other bit that I wanted to tackle. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not playing it right. And you know what? There is a potential that you haven't actually scratched the surface of exactly how you like to play and what's engaging for you as a player.
Like, if you are the sort of person who the things that you get out of D&D are rolling the dice and doing the combat and thinking
smashing the baddies
and thinking tactically and that sort of thing, but you're not getting enough of that. You can just go to your DM and be like, I would really like it if there was some more combat.
Yeah, and I think the best point to start is with your husband and have that conversation and say, I'm not really enjoying it. Maybe you could tell your husband what you would enjoy. If you, OP, sit and think, what would make me enjoy it more? Like, don't put any constraints on yourself. Just simply think, what would make me enjoy it more? Because anything is possible in D&D, right?
Have you written a backstory?
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't, would you like to?
Yeah.
And if you do, say to your DM, I've written a backstory. Is there any chance we can explore this?
Yeah.
Do you just love more of the shopping episodes?
Yeah.
Do you just love hanging around the town and finding out mysteries?
Do you just want to look at sexy vampires and be a sexy vampire and marry a vampire?
Do you want to be a vampire? Get your DM to stick a vampire arc in and you be the vampire sacrifice at the end.
Yeah. Like, maybe you don't like playing one character. Maybe you would like to be the person who comes in with a new character and dips in and out.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like a long-term campaign.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like one-shots.
Yeah. So it's I think it's think about Dungeons and Dragons and when you do go and play it. And obviously there is an aspect of it that you slightly like.
Yeah. Because you said it is slightly fun.
And the thing is, just because the game is ran a certain way now doesn't mean that's the way it's going to be ran forever. If there is aspects of the game that you love that aren't happening too often, say that to your DM.
Definitely.
Like, I want to stay. I find these bits a little bit. There's nothing wrong with saying like I don't find these as interesting as others.
Yeah.
Like our table. Let's just be honest. Abby loves role playing more than combat.
Yeah.
And I know that. So like. It's okay for us because I know that every session's going to have so much roleplay.
Yes.
So much roleplay. But I know that Josh and Matthew love combat. I know you love a bit of combat.
Yeah.
So we will always have a little bit of both. You know, for Abby's sake, maybe I don't believe the combat's out as long as I used to because it gives more time for other things.
Yeah.
But, you know, people just like to be like, oh, he's told us to roll initiative. And they just get excited at that point.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Your DM will cater to you if they know what you like.
Yeah, there is definitely ways of finding out what you like.
Yeah.
And I would start, like I said, the conversation with your husband and go from there. Hey, your husband might have some suggestions too.
Yeah.
So I think the jig has got to be up at some point.
The jig is up.
It's got to be up at some point, and you have to be honest with yourself for your sake.
For your sake.
You have to.
But, you know, at the same time, if you do just want to sit through this campaign and get to the end, you can do if you want. You might be a little bit more resilient than me and Margaret.
Yes,
because if this was us, we'd be like,
we are not
gone.
Resilient whatsoever.
Not at all.
Not even slightly.
As soon as we start to not enjoy something, we're like, I'm
That's
out.
It. Yeah.
So yeah, I hope some of that helped.
Yeah,
that is a bit of a complicated one.
It is a complicated one, and we don't know the context of your relationship.
No, so
but based on what you said, you obviously really love and care and want to support your husband.
Yes.
So I think the best way to do that is have a conversation with him, keep it open, and see where you go from there.
Nice.
So thank you for your submission.
Thank you.
Please update us if you do have a conversation about this. We would love to know.
Anonymous.
Squad
Blaster Anonymous. Thank you for your submission.
Squad Blasters Anonymous.
Squad Blasters Anonymous.
It's people who listen to me fumbling numbers and they go sit in a room and they're like, listen,
I can't listen to her
anymore. Talk shit anymore.
I can't listen to her get the numbers wrong anymore.
Okay, so this is Am I the Asshole to? Number 4. Number 4.
It's that number.
It's this one. Number 4. Okay, so this is submitted by Anonymous and they, them.
Okay. Squad Blaster Anonymous, thank you.
Am I the arsehole for accidentally sending the party to a hellish dimension and killing the whole party? This took place a couple of years ago, so the details might be a little fuzzy.
Okay.
This took place in my first ever 3.5 campaign with a group of friends that I made in college.
Okay.
I was playing a Tabaxi rogue that had a really high appraisal and sleight of hand skill points.
Okay.
The DM presented our party with a wizard's tower that had the ability to magically transport. When we entered it, it was almost Alice in Wonderland-esque. The door could talk, the chairs moved, etc. You get the point.
Yeah.
When we eventually found the wizard and defeated him, we were casually looting his tower, obviously. Of course.
My players did the exact same thing with the mage tower that they've just seen.
Of course we did.
Gosh, you did.
This is where I might be the arsehole for killing the party.
Okay.
Our cleric, Rachel, would regularly be on her phone, be absent physically or mentally from the session, and when it would come back to her turn, she would take at least 10 minutes to make a decision because she was absent. That is very frustrating.
Okay.
This player became extremely irritating for me because the rest of the party, myself, 3 others, and the DM would be thinking about our turns beforehand and be actively engaged in what was happening.
Right.
Towards the end of our session, I had appraised a ruby that was embedded in the tower. The DM told me it was priceless, but would be incredibly difficult to take from the wall.
Okay.
What rogue is going to hear that and not try it?
Never have I ever seen a rogue.
Never.
Hear that a ruby is priceless
God,
and then not try and
we
take
take the bait for scrumpled up bags underneath
like
the
a
Scrumbly
little
Mountain.
piece of paper
we
under
take,
a chair.
Yeah, we take the bait for that.
Yeah.
So, with my high sleight of hand skill and masterwork thieves tools kit, I easily popped it out.
Gosh, you did.
The DM
depends what level they are. I imagine they're reliable talent as well.
The DM immediately hit me with the dreaded, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Oh.
I, of course, said yes, because it was a priceless ruby and I wanted to get paid for dealing with Rachel. When I popped it out and put it in my bag, the tower started to fall apart. When the party tried to leave, we could see all the planes shifting in front of us. The DM graciously let me roll a percentile to land on a passive plane, but we ended up essentially in hell and demons swarmed us.
Great.
Am I the asshole?
And that was the TPK?
Yes.
All right, okay.
I can only assume so, right? Because while OP didn't mention the TPK,
they said at the beginning, didn't they?
They said
I killed the party.
Sent the party to a hellish dimension and killed the whole party. So I'm
assuming all of your characters died.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is layered.
This is also again layered.
This is layered, and I think the base question of am I the asshole for killing the party? I don't think that was your fault. Really.
That was not your fault.
I don't think.
So let's just take it apart bit by bit. Okay. So I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You could be the greatest player on earth, yet you take 5 minutes on your turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, people just deal with the pressure. People are able to sit and look at the battlefield or a battle map and think about their goal whilst taking in what everyone else does.
Not me.
Some people
could never be me.
Some people get too enthralled and they're listening to everyone else. Oh, that's so cool. That's such a great idea. Nice one. That's a great idea.
Me.
Oh, wait, you do. Oh, nice. That's a great idea. And then when it comes to their goal, they go.
They're like,
oh God, I haven't thought about my goal
because I was too busy
listening to everyone else.
Yeah,
so you know, like take Critical Role. If you watch Critical Role, look at Liam.
Liam, oh my
gets
God,
to his goal and he's
absolutely
like,
on
especially as Aurum, he's like, I jump up here,
I action surge,
I bait and switch, and then I go and attack and this and that, and he's like on it. He's looked at the battlefield and he can read the goal.
Knows exactly what he's capable.
But then
of doing.
you come to Ashley Johnson, and you can tell she feels the pressure.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not surprising when you've got like thousands and thousands of people watching you.
Yeah, and you're druid.
Yeah, and druids are complicated.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are, druids are a more complicated
especially
class.
A wildfire one with a companion.
Yeah, so, you know, like people are different. So Rachel taking 5 minutes on her turn.
Yeah, that's a
non-issue because people are just different.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, if they are just on their phone.
Yes.
And not listening.
That's where it gets irritating, I think, because I
that
do agree.
That is unfair on everyone else.
If someone is regularly on their phone and they're absent physically from the table when things are happening.
Did they mean physically from the table, like they get up and go somewhere else, or did they just miss sessions?
Well, it said, I don't know, actually. It just said be absent physically or mentally. So actually, I don't know.
So it might be a bit of both. They might get up and go and
you know what?
Make
I took
a sandwich
it like that. I think make lunch.
Pretend to be a wolf.
Pretend to be a wolf. Now
that's a throwback to an old
Am I the Arsehole episode.
I was trying to think, was it lunch or was it a sandwich?
Was
it lunch?
Making lunch. Yeah, that is annoying and that is disrespectful to be doing that. However, and you know what? I actually tossed up putting this submission in because it's a strange one, because with submissions, we know that you're our viewers. Maybe not necessarily our viewers, but we know that you've had to go out of your way to submit something to us because you want our opinion on it.
Yeah.
And I feel it's unfair on you guys, because I feel kind of unfair saying to someone who I know put a submission in saying, you have been an asshole in this situation.
Okay.
Because I'm biased towards you guys.
Yeah, okay.
But that's, you know what? It's not fair.
Let me do it for you.
Mm.
Saying that you want to take the ruby as payment for dealing with Rachel. That's messed up. That's an asshole thing to say.
That is an asshole thing to say.
That's an asshole thing to say. I think there's a lot of times where you need to be more concerned with yourself.
Yes.
And not with everybody else.
Yes, definitely.
And look, this player, you know, if they are on the phone and not paying attention and don't have the same drive and engagement that you have, I understand that it can be frustrating. But you need to take that and deal with it in a different way.
Yeah, because the thing is, right, you in-game are taking a ruby to deal because you want payment for something outside of game, which is just, in my opinion, not a very nice thing to do.
No, it's not. And
it's not behavior.
Yeah, and it's not a nice thing to say. You know, like the thing is, if you don't like Rachel, and you don't like
and it sounds like there is bad behavior from Rachel, definitely.
It sounds like being on your phone and just like not paying attention.
Yeah.
Like I would hate that at my table.
Me too.
If somebody was just like, you know, scrolling through Instagram, I would just have to, after that session, be like, are you interested? Because it doesn't sound like you're interested.
Yeah.
And I only want to play with people who are interested in playing.
And, you know, there's an argument to be made that because you just wanted to be paid for dealing with Rachel, you TPK'd the whole party.
That's not what happened, though.
No. I do think...
I definitely think, do you want to know what? If your appraisal check, which I imagine in 5e is like investigation.
This was 3.5.
Or it might be like a dual crafting check or something like that. If your appraisal check was that high, you definitely should have maybe been told that it was enchanted.
I agree.
With something.
I think your DM... Your DM made the decision to TPK your party, not you.
Yeah. And also, you know, like, it depends. Is that table comfortable with being TPK'd? Like, I would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That then spawns, like, a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Is your table being comfortable with being TPK'd? If so, then... You know, like fair dues.
Yeah.
But I don't think a percentile dice to land in the plane of hell to then just get swarmed by demons. That's, to me...
There's different ways that could have gone, but we don't know the table.
But we don't know the table, so we can't comment on that.
OP, I don't think that's your fault.
No, that's not your fault.
I don't think you...
I do think you need to have a conversation with Rachel or your DM.
Definitely. I think there needs to be a conversation outside of game.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to bring things into the game with your frustrations with
Rachel.
Rachel.
Don't let those frustrations bleed into the game to take things out.
Yeah. And again, I feel bad because I am biased towards you guys. But it's unfair on you if I look at something that I think is asshole behavior and say it's not. Just because I love you guys.
But but at the same time, this person asked if they're the asshole because they TPK the buy.
Yeah.
And they're not.
No. I think you are a bit of an asshole about how you approached
I think
Rachel in specifics.
Your attitude towards Rachel
is something that is also bad
needs,
behavior.
Yeah, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, you need to deal with that.
Yeah. And look, you know, we all make mistakes,
of course,
and we all have emotions, and you know sometimes they can bleed into the game. But we gotta do our best to not have
we
that.
are all guilty of letting things bleed into the game. I've done it before. You've done it before.
I've done it before.
Yeah,
and you know I look back on it, I'm like, I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, of course.
But sometimes our emotions get the better of us.
Yeah, they do.
Because you know bad behavior can frustrate people around the table.
Yeah,
and I know that bad behavior has frustrated me.
Yes, same.
And I was an asshole in that situation. But just because, you know, you're saying that a subscriber of our channel is an asshole because of the behavior, it doesn't mean that, you know, they're an asshole. That's it. You're branded as an asshole forever and you can never change. I
know. But did you get... I hope you guys understand what I mean when I say that.
I get you.
But you know what? Sometimes they've obviously come to us because they want to hear our opinion and they probably value our opinion. So...
That's
the opinion, and it would be a disservice to you for me to not give you my honest opinion.
I agree.
So, let us know, OP, if that ever got resolved.
Yeah.
If you do have a conversation.
Yeah.
Then again, this was a long time ago.
Oh, was it? Okay. Please let us know.
A long time ago. Okay. So we are on to advice number 3.
Yeah.
And it's number 9. No, it's number... no, it's number 6. It's number 6 in total.
Is it?
Yeah, yes, because it's advice... 5?
I think it might be 5. Because I think we've done 2 advice to assholes.
Well, viewers, don't tell me.
Berate her in the comments.
Okay, so this has been submitted by Luna, and they go by she, they.
Okay.
Hello, I am looking for advice on how I should handle my future as a DM and if I should continue to DM at all.
Okay.
This is a bit of a longer one, but you need all the context to this.
Okay.
I'm a first-time DM running a Pathfinder 2e campaign on Foundry. I started out with 4 players from my friend group and it went really well. Everyone was having a good time and the campaign was progressing at a steady pace.
Okay.
The campaign quickly became a topic in my friend group and others asked to join. I said yes, and we soon expanded from 4 to 7 players.
Okay, wow.
I naively, in hindsight, thought I could handle that many. Plus, I didn't want people to miss out as everyone wanted to have fun and spend time together, myself included. I understand that.
I completely understand that.
Things went well at first, but soon the campaign became affected by drama. One example is 2 players called Paul and Daisy. Daisy made fun out of Paul's character, calling them ugly and useless, which greatly upset Paul.
I'm not surprised.
Who had designed his character, including their portrait from scratch. They had an argument, and I think that this incident greatly contributed to Paul eventually leaving the campaign. Man. Another instance of drama came from a player called Reese, who forgot how to open his character sheet in Foundry. I don't quite know how Foundry works, but I'm assuming it's like a tabletop.
I imagine it's
simulator.
like a virtual
like a Roll20 type. Yeah. Rather than ask for help, he sat in silence, then eventually left the call mid-session again without saying anything. He was very upset with myself and the rest of the party and didn't come back until 3 sessions later. There has also been drama outside of the campaign. While I won't mention specifics, as much of it is very personal, it has led to people leaving the campaign Discord, not attending sessions, or leaving the campaign entirely. I know I have made mistakes as a DM, and I put a lot of things that had happened on my inability to properly manage the party and the campaign. I should have stuck to 4 players and been less forgiving when it came to those who continually caused drama. But unfortunately, I can't go back and change how I managed things. Currently, the campaign has 5 active players. We're about halfway through the campaign, and I just don't know if I can continue. I know it's my fault how things have gone, and I don't want to let down any of my players, but I just have no more energy for DMing. Every session has filled me with dread that something is going to happen and there will be another fight or some more drama. I keep hoping for a TPK so I can end the campaign early without outright having to say it. I know keeping things going as they are is unsustainable for myself. Everything so far has impacted my mental health and my chronic illness. I can't risk any further damage to myself or my players, but I am stuck on 3 options, which are: number 1, stop the campaign and stop DMing entirely. Number 2, stop the campaign and start a new campaign with 4 players who I know I can trust not to start drama. This would greatly upset some people who I know would want to play in a new campaign, but I don't want included because of past incidents. And number 3, keep the current campaign going, but be clear if a player causes any drama, they'll be kicked from the campaign. I'm not sure what I should do, and I would appreciate any advice. Thank you.
Okay. What was the name?
Luna.
Luna. Okay, Luna. We'll get real for you.
Mm-hmm.
Luna, stop blaming yourself.
I know.
I'm going to tell you right now that none of that is your fault.
Yeah. People's behavior and how they treat other people is not your fault. And
It's
I
not your
know
fault.
you can feel like that.
I know you can feel like that, saying that you
Because-
didn't do enough, you didn't act quick enough and things like that, but at the same time, you aren't the one causing the drama.
No. And yes, there is arguments to be made. As the DM, yes, you could have stepped in. But as you said, you're all friends outside of the game.
And
it's not that easy.
But we'll come back to the point of, you aren't the one causing the drama.
No, you're not.
Like, people shouldn't be causing drama like that. Daisy shouldn't be calling Paul's character ugly and useless. That's not fair.
That's just mean.
It's just mean.
There's nothing to be gained from that.
What if Paul designed that character off themselves?
Yeah.
What if they were like, this is a reflection of me, and then,
Yeah,
then
I
Daisy
know.
just turns up and says you're ugly and useless.
I know.
That's just bad behaviour.
How could you ever have been responsible for that?
And
the situation with Reese as well, who forgot how to open the character sheet. That's not your fault.
It's not your fault. And
that's
you
not
know,
your fault.
and like if Reese had just DM'd you or like
privately just said, "Oh my god, I don't know how
I'm
to
really
open
sorry,
it."
I don't know how to, and you know,
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
And that's no slight on Reese. Like,
no,
you know, people can feel like they're embarrassed and things like that with situations.
And there
like
is
that.
a lot to remember, especially if you're playing virtually.
And also, you know, if this bad behaviour has taken place and people have like mocked each other and been nasty like Daisy was to Paul, I'm not surprised that Reese didn't try and pipe up and say, "How do I open this?" Because what if they just got
lambasted?
How stupid are you for not being able to do that? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
So look, first of all, don't beat yourself up.
No, it sounds
Luna.
like you are.
You are beating yourself up
Yeah.
for reasons that you absolutely shouldn't, because none of this is your fault.
No.
And secondly, in my opinion, just end the campaign.
I agree.
Like I don't like saying that because, you know, like I don't want to be the guy on the internet that just breaks up people's campaigns, but look, DM burnout is real.
Oh my god, yeah.
Is real. If you keep doing it, if you keep playing this session, it sounds like you may never want to DM ever again.
Exactly. And to be fair, she says, this is really bad for my mental health and my chronic illness.
That's more important.
I can't risk any further damage. It's a game that we all love.
We love to play.
We love to be together. We love to have fun.
Yeah.
But your health and your mental health is more important.
It's so much more important.
And you say that you have 4 players who you can trust. You know that those 4 players will absolutely support you and be behind you because they're your friends.
If you need to take a week off, you need to understand that that's okay.
Yeah.
Like DMing at the same time as just real life, work, college, whatever you do, university, that all can take its toll on you.
Oh my goodness, of course it does.
DMing to whatever capacity, you know.
For 7 players, to be fair, she says that there's now 5 players.
It doesn't really matter how many players there is. Like, you know, you think about it all week and then you don't, and then some people don't like to go into a session with like, I haven't planned enough, this session's going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
That also weighs on you.
Of course.
Like, it all can bring you down massively and become a lot. So if you need to play with people that you're comfortable with, because you need to know, like, especially if you're not in a great place mentally right now, if you need to take that week off for yourself, like not having the pressure of people being like last night, I had to take Tuesday night, I had to take yesterday off D&D purely just because I have too much going on.
Yeah,
I have a lot going on right now in terms of work and other adult boring things. I wasn't going to have the session planned. And I don't do a massive amount of planning. Like, I am definitely more on the improv side of DMing. But there's some sessions that need a little bit more sometimes, like inevitably. Like, you go into a new place and I need to plan. And I just had to call it off. And every single one of my players sent me love hearts and said, don't worry, take as much time as you need. Like, nobody's upset with you.
The first thing everyone said was, we hope you're okay.
And I knew that I could take the session off because everyone was going to be really nice.
Yeah, which they were.
And they were.
Of course.
If you don't have that support, cancelling a session can be a daunting thing.
Oh my God.
A very, very pressure-inducing thing.
To think that you cancel it and to have people being like, oh well, I was really looking forward to this.
But it's like that doesn't make your DM feel good.
No,
like you need to be supportive of your DM if they need a little bit of time off. DMing is a lot.
Yeah,
you know, if you're a player, you still might do a lot of things out of session, but
DMing is
it's a different kettle of fish.
Of course it is.
So.
And Luna, you say every session you go in just dreading it.
That's not why we play D&D.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something that we've learned. You know, earlier we mentioned we just say no to things we don't want to do. If it comes to a point where we're dreading something, even though we know it's hard to say no, we just don't do it because it's not worth it to us for it to take that toll on us. In the same way it sounds like it's taking a toll on you, Luna.
In my opinion, Luna, this is just my opinion, and obviously I know that you've come to us for the advice. Yeah. So this is what I would suggest you do. Yeah. I would stop that game with those people.
100%.
Because it doesn't sound like it's good for you.
Yep.
And it doesn't sound like you're enjoying it.
No.
I would not, personally, jump straight into another game.
No.
I would take a week off, take 2 weeks off, take a month off.
I would take a little while
just
off. Yeah.
breathe and just give yourself a hard reset.
Yeah, because when all of these things are on top of you right now, it's like you're buried underneath a pile and you feel like there is no way out.
And you might jump into that game with those 4 players that you love and know you can play with too soon, and then like begin to resent that, but for no reason other than you're burnt out.
Yeah, it sounds like you are so incredibly burnt out.
Yeah. So what I think you should do is cancel that session.
Yep, definitely.
Don't play that session anymore.
Immediately.
Yeah, straight away. Take some time, and if you get that fire in your belly, if you get that yearning desire to DM again, and you want to, you've got to want to do it.
Exactly. There's no point in doing it if you're having to force yourself to do it.
If you want to do it again, then hit up those players.
That's
and say,
the point.
I'm ready to start a new campaign. Would you all like to play?
You do have to want to do it.
Yeah.
And even more than that, elaborating on that a little bit more, I think immediately stop this campaign now.
Yeah.
Say, just be honest.
Yeah.
Say you're burnt out, you need some space. Give it some time. When you feel like you want to do it again, I would honestly only approach those 4 players who you can trust.
It sounds like that's what you want to do.
Because in the beginning, Luna says we were only 4 players and then we expanded to the 7. Now, I don't know if there's any correlation to the people who joined in later being the people who created the drama.
Yeah.
But if you know you can trust these people, you have to keep the people around you that you can trust and who aren't going to set this off again. Because if you go back in and you open it to everyone and say, right, everyone come back in, then it's going to repeat itself.
It's going to be a cycle.
It is going to be a cycle. And you are right. You are going to upset the people who would want to play in the new campaign.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because your feelings are more important.
Your feelings are more important. And also you're the dungeon master. And like I said before, it's you who has to put in the prep.
Yeah.
It's you who has to think of everything. Other people can, like, I know some players do more outside and do homework. I don't know. So some players like put a lot of effort into like the character sheets and things like that and make journals and things like that. So I'm not saying that that players don't do things out of sessions.
Yes.
But you know, like
you
as a player,
yeah,
the session can still go forward if you didn't make your character journal.
There's a reason why there's more players than DMs.
Yeah, of course there is.
And
so,
you know what? This is exactly what happened with me pretty much. So we have played in multiple games with multiple people across the couple of past years.
Yeah.
And when it was my turn to DM, we had friends as well who I could have offered a seat at the table, but I actually explicitly told them, I said, it's my first time DMing. The people who are in this group right now, I absolutely, completely trust to be able to deal with me as a new DM and respect me as a new DM. And I'm not comfortable DMing for more people. There was a conversation brought up in our house with one of the people who I didn't end up inviting. They said, oh, I hear you're going to DM next. And I said, I am. But just so you know now, it is only going to be these 4 people. And that person was, from what I know, that person was absolutely fine with it.
Yeah, because also I know that person is a DM themselves.
Yes.
And I want like all the DMs out there, like you need to know that it's okay to be nervous, and it's okay.
That's natural. That's totally natural.
Like you as a DM, all these things that you think are amazing ideas, you know, you are opening yourself up to allowing people into your brain space, basically, and it is a scary thing. So don't get pressured into allowing people to play if you don't want them to.
Yeah.
First of all, you as a DM need to be comfortable.
Definitely.
Before anything else.
Definitely, because nothing in the game is going to go the way you want it to.
Unless you're comfortable.
Exactly.
Unless you're having fun, unless you're relaxed, unless you're just in a good space. Because if you're not, which Luna, it sounds like you're not in a good space.
No.
I just feel really bad for you. I'm really sorry.
We feel absolutely awful for you.
I feel terrible for you because, like, even me, this week, coming up to this session, I was like, I know I shouldn't. And I know that my players wouldn't have and weren't going to be upset with me, but I still felt bad cancelling the session.
Of course you do. That's
because
natural.
I know everyone looks forward to it, and I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I'm stressed and when I've got too much on and when I've got other things going on, like I don't look forward to D&D because I'm like I don't have time to plan, and that means the session's not going to be as good, and I don't want to run a subpass session. I want everybody to have a good time, and you know those things begin to come on top of you, and as soon as those things begin to come on top of you, you need to go. I come first.
Yeah.
I need to take the week off, or in this case, I don't want to play this session anymore.
Definitely.
That's the most important thing.
So just to solidify, our exact advice for you is option 2. Stop the campaign.
Stop this current campaign.
Immediately. As soon as you can.
Yeah.
Take a decent amount of time away.
As much as you need
until you feel like you can handle it again.
Yeah.
Then you approach those 4 friends who you know you can trust.
Yeah.
And just start a game with them.
Yeah.
And if people get upset, all you can do is be honest. I think the most important thing is to be honest and say, I was just burnt out. I started with 4. We moved on to 7. I can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't let those people make
don't let
you
them
feel
bend
bad.
your arm. Don't let them make you feel guilty.
Don't let them it's just remember, it's your life. As
Mm-hmm.
we've explained earlier in this episode.
And it's easy for us to sit here saying, just ignore him, because it's not
It's
that
not
easy.
It's not easy. And like, you know, us just saying it isn't going to, you know,
make it
easier.
easy.
But, you know, like, it's your life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make yourself feel bad for other people.
100%.
Like, if you want to do something, do it. It's your time. It's your Dungeons and Dragons. You're the DM. Like, you need to do what makes you feel happy. And this currently isn't making you feel happy. And if only having 4 players in the new campaign and only having those 4 players you trust is what makes you happy, you do that. And I'm sorry to say it, but it doesn't matter what the other people say.
It doesn't. And you know what? If they truly are your friends,
they would understand.
Exactly. So Luna,
that's what we decree.
We really we really hope you heard this.
Yes, I hope you did. And
we hope that at the very least you get something out of this.
Yeah.
If anything, just to know that you're justified in how you feel.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and don't ever feel ashamed or anything like that.
And just know it's not your fault.
And literally everyone goes through it. Me this week, I was in a similar headspace to you. Maybe not quite as
tumultuous.
Yeah, but you know, like it's we get like that. All of us do. Us as DMs, like, you know, we need to stick together. I look out for you because I've been there and I've felt that way, and it's not good and it's not nice, and that pressure isn't. You need to relieve that pressure.
Yeah. Please, if you hear this, just let us know that you're all right, and let us know if it helped and what your future holds for you.
Yes, please.
Luna, we're here for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, what number is this?
Oh, I don't know.
I knew it. I knew it.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Oh, I've got the dog all excited.
No.
Sorry about that. I got too excited and yelled and upset the dog.
Yes, you did.
So I activated him.
Yes, you did activate him.
I don't know what number we're on.
Yeah.
I just know that this is Am I the Arsehole submission number 3.
Yeah.
This could be 6.
I think it's 6.
This could be
because we started with
could be 7.
We started with the advice, and then we just did another advice, and we've only done 2 Am I the Assholes, which means it would probably be 6.
Okay. So we're on 6.
I think.
Watch
me be wrong.
Watch us be on 21.
Berate me if I'm wrong too.
Okay. This, by the way, this is going to be a long one, friends. This is going to be a long episode, so I want to say what I said last time. Get comfy. Get all snuggled up.
Yeah.
Get some nice.
You're committing to it this time.
I'm committing to it this time. We're not gonna cut this one short. So get some snacks. Get comfy with us. And this is Am I the Arsehole submission number 3.
Let's go.
And this has been submitted by Danny or Danin, and he goes by he, him.
All right.
So, am I the arsehole?
Danny the Squad Blaster.
My God, Jack. Am I the arsehole for calling out 5 weekly sessions in a year because my DM invited his ex who didn't mesh with the party at all, causing me to lose motivation?
Okay.
Don't know why I said that so weird.
You didn't say that weird.
Do you not think?
No.
Motivation. One more point that is important before we start the story. I also tried dating the DM before he started hosting a game for us. We stopped when his ex moved back in with him and they got back together.
Okay.
I feel like that is an important
That's
point.
probably quite important.
So we played every Saturday for 8 to 10 hours for over a year.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of D&D.
Wow. Initially, it was the DM and 2 players. We were shooting for a combat-heavy campaign in a pre-established homebrew world.
Nice.
A half-orc barbarian who later contracted lycanthropy and a ranged samurai fighter. Love that for you.
Super cool.
We were having a blast just using our abilities and smashing shit. That was amazing. My problem began when his ex moved back in and requested to be added to the game. We were asked if it was okay and we both agreed. However, it was immediately noticeable that this person wasn't vibing with us. He would partake in the devil's lettuce.
Oh, okay.
Heavily throughout the game and would go through periods where he would completely zone out from the game or be way too invested in straight up bawling and among a huge fuss over an NPC. And cause a huge fuss over an NPC.
Okay.
Blood talk was really frowned upon. We had to argue to take prisoners or not let evil people free after fighting them. Really, just any gruesome aspect of combat you can imagine, we would have to tiptoe around for this guy. Anyway, this went on for multiple months, and I'm very rapidly losing my will to continue. I'm struggling to find my emotional energy every Saturday to drive 45 minutes to their house and sit for 9 hours for something I wasn't really enjoying. This next sentence is the crux of my question. Am I the arsehole for dropping out of the games the day of or the day before, maybe 5 times in total that year, until the DM got mad enough to cancel the game forever? P.S. This was my first and last real taste of D&D, sadly. I haven't had the courage to find a new group.
Okay.
What are your initial thoughts?
Okay. So, I'll say it now. And this is, look, I have also partaken in the devil's lettuce
Oh my goodness.
in my life.
Oh my goodness gracious.
As I imagine quite a few people have.
Not me.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I have.
I don't anymore. That's not the point.
We're
But
too old now.
look, drinking, devil's lettuce, all of it, I don't allow it at the table.
Yeah.
Like, and that is a session 0 sort of thing. Everybody knows, don't turn up drunk.
Yep.
Don't turn up high. Don't turn up in any sort of unfit state to play the game.
Yep.
But, like, that's just me. And I know there's many DMs out there that are like that.
Yeah.
And I know there's loads of people who are like, yeah, we have drinks at the table. That's fine. You do that.
Yeah,
like,
and to be honest, there is exceptions, like when we play around Christmas and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we have a couple of drinks in that.
Yeah,
and
but
I wouldn't even mind if somebody wanted to have a beer with it, but just don't turn up drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, don't turn up where you aren't going to
where
be able to
you're like
partake in the game.
You're altered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're altered.
You're altered. You're
Altered.
chemically altered. Yeah.
Altered in a different.
Chemically altered.
But like that's something that you need to talk about like together, because I know there's a lot of people who like to get together in D&D and have a bunch of drinks and get a little bit messy, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
But obviously it sounds like they didn't do this, and then this person's come in
and
if one person is on a different level of altered to the rest of people, it's hard to.
I agree. No, I agree. That can be like a tricky dynamic.
And don't let anybody also just don't let anybody pressure you into, if you don't want to drink at the table and you don't want smoking at the table, like that's fine.
Yeah.
Like don't let anybody like pressure you into allowing that. Like if that makes you uncomfortable or anything like that, don't have that.
Yeah.
That's not an uncommon thing to want.
No, it's not. No, not at all.
So look, if you have a game and you're having a good time, and you're doing things a specific way, like the blood talk or the thing, like I think
what is blood talk?
Does it mean like, how do you want to do this? I do it like this, and
potential, like kind of like gross, like gory talk.
Yeah, like
right,
if that's that's something that you really like, and then that is then taken away from you by somebody coming in. Like I can understand that's frustrating. If someone comes in and changes that for you, like those things that you held dear, like. You can really enjoy that sort of talk and be like, yeah, I kill this person in this way.
Yeah.
That can be something.
That's what we're like.
And it said it was a combat-heavy campaign. Like that can be something you enjoy. And if somebody comes in and changes that, then I'm not gonna lie. That is unfair on the players.
That's unfair on everyone. To be honest, I think that's unfair on the new player. I think that's unfair on the old players, and that's also unfair on the DM. And I know that Danny, you said that. The DM asked if it was okay, and on face value, it probably was. I would like to know if you had like a session 0, if you had a conversation beforehand of what does everyone want?
Introducing
How
a new
does
player.
everyone play? Exactly.
There should be another session 0.
Instead of just what it sounds like this person's just been brought in, totally doesn't vibe with you.
Yeah,
totally
plays in a completely different way.
Very different to what you want.
Like if they want to play like a pacifist sort of style, and you and the ranger and the barbarian, the fighter and the barbarian, are like, no, we just kill everything in our path. If that's what you're playing, and then
it's never going to work.
If that's taken away from you, that can feel real bad.
Definitely.
I will say, at that point, you should have just said, I don't want to play anymore.
I agree.
I don't think cancelling on the day
or last minute
the
even
day before, like, you should have as much notice as possible for everyone. Like, doing it that way is not the way to do it.
And what I don't understand here is he says at the end, I cancelled until the DM got mad enough. Yes, yeah, him.
Sorry, yeah.
Until the DM got mad enough to cancel the game forever.
Okay.
I don't understand if that was the goal.
I feel like that might have been the goal.
If the goal was to cancel and kind of force it into a situation where it was cancelled, then yeah, that is total asshole behaviour.
That's not good behaviour.
That is not how that should have been handled.
You should have just, if somebody came in and it was changed and you weren't playing the way that you wanted, and obviously I think the ex rubbed you the wrong way.
Understandably.
Like to mix like relationships, exes and all that thing. I can understand why you would probably be frustrated that the ex was then invited to play.
Yes. I feel like the context that you've given us to, I tried dating the DM and then the ex got me. I think that already sets it up on, there's obviously levels that we wouldn't understand to this, that adds complexity to this.
Yeah, definitely.
And hey, I can only speak from experience. If that was me, I probably would naturally be on the defensive here.
But what you should have done was just immediately said, not having fun anymore. I'm out.
Yeah. Instead of cancelling. Although,
to try and force the game to stop.
Although he does say, he keeps making a point to say, I only cancelled 5 times total in the course of the year.
Which isn't very many.
They play every week.
Yeah, but it sounds like they play hardcore.
Oh, yeah,
like
true.
8-hour sessions and stuff like that.
True.
Every Saturday.
True. So I think, I don't blame you.
No.
I understand
I don't blame you.
Why you would be feeling like that, why you would be frustrated, but... Yeah. You went about it in a really bad way.
Yeah, you went about it the wrong way, but, emotions can get the better of us sometimes.
Yeah, but...
And, I think you can be forgiven for it.
Yes, definitely. And the thing is,
Danny,
you say
it sounds
that
complex.
This is your first and your last real taste of D&D.
No, boo!
And I haven't had the courage to find a new group. I promise you, there will be a group that is... I mean, even before this person came in, this was the group for you. And
yeah, it was. It sounds like you're having a great time.
It sucks that things changed, but there will be a group for you.
There will be a group for you.
There will be.
Combat heavy, loads of blood talk.
Yep.
Loads of that, gruesome stuff and
Absolutely,
things like that.
Just getting in there.
There's loads of games like that.
There is. 100%.
Get yourself down to the local game store. Get yourself on some Reddit or Discord servers, things like that. Find a community and
you
get
will
yourself
find.
back, because you will.
You will. But the only advice I can give you is, if there is a problem that crops up like this again, you need to vocalize it.
Just tackle it.
Yeah, you need to, because then when it gets into murky waters like this, you do end up looking like the arsehole, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And from what you've said, you've been dealt a shitty pair of hands.
Yeah.
And what's the word I'm looking for? Two wrongs don't make a right. Am I right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
That wasn't a word. That was a sentence. That was a phrase.
That was a phrase. But yes, Danny, I'm sorry that this happened.
Yeah.
And please update us if...
Yeah. Get yourself out there.
Get yourself out there.
Danny. Squad Blasted Danny.
No.
Get yourself out there. Find a new group. There's going to be a table out there for you.
Yeah, don't let this...
Just remember that enjoyment that you had when it was the barbarian, the lycanthropic barbarian, and the samurai ranged fighter. Like, remember those great times that you were having. You can have that again.
Definitely.
That's not the only table that you're going to find that at. There'll be other... But make sure when you're going in, find a table that's going to... Like you said, play the same way you want to, because that is important.
Yeah.
And I hope I made that very clear earlier, that somebody else coming in mid-campaign, not having a session 0, and then you all being on a different page, isn't fair on any of you.
No, that is a recipe for failure. I'm afraid.
That's just going to fall apart straight away.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that was
Squad Blaster Danny out.
So we are now on to advice number 4.
Okay.
And number 7.
We think. Okay,
so this was submitted by Anonymous, and they go by she, they.
Okay.
Hi there, I am seeking advice on how to help my party feel like more of a group.
Okay.
Our party ranges from 17, me, to I think about mid-30s, but I'm not really sure, and we are all from various places around the UK, with our DM and his wife being from the States. I was introduced to the group by my partner, who has known them for a while through video games, and as a result, I had interactions with them in the past as well. This is almost everyone's first campaign, apart from the DM and maybe his wife, and I joined later on in the campaign than everyone else. With it being my first ever character, I shot myself in the foot by creating a really lone wolf type rogue.
We've
all been
done
there.
It. Every single one of us has done it. Don't worry.
And in brackets, I know I couldn't be more stereotypical.
Don't worry about
been
it.
There, especially for your first character.
The stereotypes are good for a reason.
We've all been there.
You can be like, Aragon was a Lone Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that. He's the coolest man
top class
ever.
Dude. I've tried making the character warm up a bit faster, and I changed her personality a bit, but I'm really struggling to interact with the others in the group, apart from my partner and a friend that I knew before joining. I'm not very loud, and I try not to speak over people where I can in an effort not to be rude, but I'm finding it quite difficult to incorporate myself more with the others, especially as there are a couple of people in the group who are very prominent. What would you suggest is the best thing I do to get more stuck in with the others? Is it a matter of building relationships with them outside of the campaign as well? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. This is.
We have all, first of all, we have all been there. We have all made that character.
And also just know that Margaret, her first ever character, had this exact same thing.
Exact same thing, and it was a huge problem.
And we will give you a few things to overcome this.
Yes, so I feel you. I am with you. My first character, she was a barbarian, and she was the coldest, most off-put.
She was tough to get along with.
Very hard.
She wasn't a team player.
No, she was not.
She
cared about herself and herself only.
She was lone wolf 101.
She really was, and
she went to lone wolf.
She
went to lone wolf school. Came out with a PhD.
Oh yeah,
she was versed in being lone wolf.
And I played her like that for the first few sessions because obviously it's like you say, it's your first campaign. Yeah. You don't really know what to expect, and neither did I.
And in media, those characters are the coolest ones.
Yeah, exactly.
They are a little bit harder to play at a table.
It doesn't translate
really well.
It doesn't translate exactly as well.
But you can do it
in a group game. Yeah,
you can do it.
Yeah, you can. But I think what we suffered the same problem. OP is that we both realized that we weren't enjoying how it was going because we were leaving ourselves out.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only speak for myself here, but I was leaving myself out of situations that me as a person would have loved to be involved in. I excluded myself and alienated myself from the group because I wanted to be this lone wolf character. And you know what I did? One night, I just said to myself, I can't.
You came to me and talked about it, didn't you?
I can't play like this anymore. I need her to change. And the biggest thing I was worried about was, will people be okay with me just so obviously changing my character suddenly? But the most important thing was...
And the answer was...
No. No one cared.
No one cared.
I turned up to the next session and I just had her involve herself in things.
Yeah.
And everyone was so much happier because of it, including myself.
Because we wanted to interact with your character and have a good time with I as a player. Margaret's character and my character at the beginning did not get along.
No, well, my character didn't get along with anyone in the beginning.
But my character was a warlock, quite a charismatic warlock who, did want to talk to everyone.
Yep.
And I tried to talk to your character so many times, and your character shut it down. But I wanted to role play with you,
and so did I. And as a person, so did I.
And as soon as you made that change, I wasn't like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like people, hopefully nobody in the group does that.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, OP, that. You say you've tried to make your character warm up a bit faster and change her personality a bit.
That's already great steps.
Yeah, I promise you, in your group, when you involve yourself more, people will be happy that you have.
Of course they will.
People will want to be role-playing with you, and I know it's so easy to think, oh, well, I'm quieter and I don't want to talk over people.
So a little bit of advice for how do you, like, there's a few people that you are super comfortable role playing with and talk to all the time, and there's some people that you aren't. This is what I would do. If you have backstories, or if any of those characters have specific interests, because maybe you aren't the person who likes to like talk over people and make a lot of noise and fuss and stuff like that, that's totally fine. Wait until nighttime. Wait until you're around the campfire, or you're on a journey, or you're like in an inn or something like that, and go to one of those characters that you don't speak to as often. Ask them about their backstory. Or ask them about an interest that they have. Open up a dialogue with that person about the things that their character's interested in. Show that your character is also interested in that. And that immediately
breaks down a wall. Immediately.
And has a connection. And you can be like, oh yeah, next time that you like want to talk about it, come to me, because I'd really like to talk to you about it.
Maybe there's something simple, like your character just needs a hand putting something up or taking something apart. Just say, hey, Rogue, can you come over and help me? And when they're over helping you, just start up some small talk. Just say, what do you think the plans for tomorrow are going to be?
Or maybe the rogue is like really into, I don't know, penmanship. I don't know. Jewel crafting. Like take an interest in their interests. And then immediately they'll just begin to like, if their character's interested in it, they might just be like, oh yeah, I started this then, and then your character knows something about that character, and then they have a reason to talk.
Definitely. And I also think in moments where if there is a situation where you are talking, there's nothing wrong with turning around to someone and going, well, what do you think? And then you're immediately extending your conversation to someone else. And this works vice versa. I think if you are actively wanting to try and get more involved in the talking and the role play, go to the people you trust, like your partner and your friend who you knew already, and you can just say, like, could you just get my character involved a bit more? Just have your character say to my character, what do you think? And that's something that
if you've got this isn't just advice to you, this is advice to everyone. If you've got a slightly quieter person around the table, because like I am a really loud person.
Same.
Me and Margaret, if there is a group of people, we are the loudest people.
Yes, we are.
And we will dominate, not on purpose, by accident.
Just naturally,
most of the conversation. If you ever see somebody in a social situation or even around the table that is just a little bit quieter and like struggling to interject in the conversation, just turn to that person and be like, "What do you think? Oh, like didn't you do this that time?" Like just that one question just breaks down that wall for that person, allows them into that conversation. As soon as that first line is delivered by that person,
then they're in.
It makes it easier. They're in. Saying that first line is so much harder.
Oh God, I know. We've played with each other for years. We role play with each other every week. I've done for literal years. But being the first person in the beginning of that session, no matter what, to speak is hard.
Yeah, it's still nerve-wracking.
It is nerve-wracking, and it always will be. Getting that first sentence, like you said, done. That's it. So honestly, the best advice we can give you is if you hear other people having a conversation, I know you say you don't want to interrupt and you don't want to talk over people.
People don't think you're interrupting.
No, people do not think that at all.
You're turning up to like play a character and play D&D, like, and look, I know it is scary. I know I can just say that sat here saying these things.
Yeah, especially because we don't play it online as well. So
they want to hear from you.
Yeah, they do.
They want to hear from you.
They're playing with you because they want to play with you, and if there's two people who are particularly prominent, it's probably because in the same way that you're more confident with your partner and your friend, maybe those two players are just more confident with each other. And I am certain if you hear them having a conversation and you have your character go over and be like, oh, I can chime in on this as well. They will appreciate it.
And those few things, like fast tracking that warming up lone wolf thing is a great idea.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
don't be afraid to change how your character acts.
Go to one of those players that you don't normally interact with and just showing an interest in their backstory or their roleplay. And just speaking to the people that you are comfortable with. If they're having a conversation with the people that you're not comfortable with, you just ask them, next time you're having that conversation, can you just like turn around and ask me my opinion?
Which they will be more than happy to do.
Because then if you can provide some great insight or anything like that, or just like push the conversation along, the next time those people might be like, oh yeah, what did you think? You said this last time.
Doesn't even matter what you say. Doesn't matter if you don't have some epiphany, amazing information. Just the fact that you're showing you're getting involved when you put yourself out there and show, look, I'm happy to roleplay and I'm happy to talk, people will approach you more.
Because some people might think, if you're a little bit quieter, they may not want to be like, oh, what do you think? In case you are a nervous person, in case they might not want to put that pressure on you. Yeah.
And you know what? With our table, I'd say we're all quite heavy role players, with Josh being the least inclined to role play.
You say that, but
he's still
like, I would say not a single person like struggles with role play.
Oh no, like, definitely not. He doesn't struggle. No,
none of yous do.
What I like to do in the beginning was, it's exactly like Jack said. I would make sure on a nighttime I would go out of my way and I would trap his character.
Yeah.
And I would have a one-on-one conversation with him, and it would be amazing.
Yeah.
And
like those one-on-one conversations and those like showing interest or like asking about their backstory.
Yeah.
Those are such great ways to build character relationships, which then builds out of character, like person-to-person relationships.
Exactly.
Because, like, you are a person playing a character, and if you, as a person, turn to somebody else and be like, I'm interested in, like, that thing that's happened to you, can you tell me a little bit more? That person, as well as that character, appreciates it.
Definitely. And, you mentioned yourself, is it a matter of building better relationships out of the campaign? I think that will naturally happen. It's hard because sometimes you do have to be the initiator.
Yeah.
No one wants to be the initiator, but sometimes you have to be.
Apart from Margaret.
Apart from me, I will initiate conversation with anyone at any place at any time ever.
It's so true.
It's sad. But something could have happened in the game. You could just send that person a meme. If you have a group chat, send a meme in the chat.
Yeah.
If you have a group chat,
that's also a good way.
Open lines of communication like that. I think it's really important to show that you want to be involved.
Yeah.
And when you show that, I promise you, promise, people will include you.
I agree.
But that's the best advice that we can give, really.
I hope some of those few things helped.
Yeah. Make it known that you want to be involved. Tell your partner, tell your friend.
And let us know how it goes.
Please update us on how this goes.
Anonymous? Anonymous Squad Blaster, thank you very much.
Why?
Because the more I say it, the more the people will say it.
The more they will bully me into being
and then we can all just begin to admit that Squad Blasters is the greatest name ever created, and everyone will be jealous of a Squad Blaster.
Did we tell you? Have we ever told you guys the creation of the name of the podcast?
Oh, the podcast?
Eldritch Podblast. I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated it first.
It was my idea.
Jack is great at coming up with names for things. Right?
I don't know if I am.
No, you are.
I don't know if I am.
But Eldritch Podblast, yeah, of course you are. I am terrible at naming things.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that good, but Margaret is
terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
Absolutely terrible. So
terrible.
We had some absolute stinkers, and you came out with it. I hated it at first, but now I love it.
It was actually going to be the Eldritch Blast cast.
Yes, but that was taken.
I think that might have been taken, yeah.
It was taken. And I think Eldritch Podblast works perfectly.
Yeah, I like it.
So I've warmed to it, but I'll tell you now. I'll tell you for free. I ain't warming to Squad Blasters.
She hated it. Oh, no, you will.
Oh.
You will.
Right.
Because you'll get bullied into it by everyone.
That's great.
Go!
It's already started.
Go!
It's already started. Okay, so what was that? That was advice number... Guys... I'm sorry. Sorry, little hiccup there. That was advice number 4. We are now on to Am I the Arsehole number 4.
Nice.
And the last Am I the Arsehole.
Okay.
This is the last one.
Okay.
And then we finish on 2 more advices.
Nice.
So, this has been sent in by Callie, and she goes by she, her.
Okay. Callie Squad Blaster, thank you very much.
Am I the arsehole for killing a party member when they would have survived anyways? Hi, I'm rather new to D&D, and I just started playing in January, and I joined a campaign early February.
Okay.
This campaign, to put it simply, doesn't follow a popular system. To best describe it, Google Luke Gearing D&D. It should be the first link. I didn't Google it. I should have.
Luke Gearing?
Luke Gearing D&D.
Okay.
No
I don't know
idea.
what that is.
We'll look it up.
I hope it's not important.
No, I don't think
because I don't know.
To be fair, a lot of this was actually a really, really long submission. First of all, Callie, thank you. We love the long submission.
Callie Squad Blaster.
There was a lot of information like the world setting and the character setting, which doesn't, in my opinion, didn't really impact the decision making here.
Okay.
It's kind of the latter end of this submission that I think the important bits are. So I have actually redacted some of that. However, I will leave a link to the doc that has the full thing in.
Okay.
If anyone does want to go and read the full thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I really, really, really liked this one and I wanted to include it, but it was very long.
Okay.
Considering we are 2 hours into an episode
Yes.
at this point. So, look up Luke Gearing D&D.
Okay.
It should be the first link. In our last session, we went into a cave we'd been exploring since the start, and we decided to fight some demons we found earlier in the campaign.
Okay.
We went down, very heavily prepared, and according to our DM afterwards, with a very solid plan. To say the least, it was abysmal. Somehow, in the end, my character and a few NPCs in the party were unscathed. However, of the total party, PCs and NPCs, 6 out of 9 were injured, and 3 out of 4 PCs were injured. It came down to a point where my character had to make a decision on who to save. My DM
That's tough.
It's tough. My DM made rolls deciding who would live and die, but kept them a secret from us, but this was something we all agreed on prior.
Totally fine.
Based on the injuries described, I had to make a timed decision on who to save, a PC or an NPC. I ended up basing my decision on skills and the severity of their injuries rather than personality. The PC was a farmer and was hired as a temporary fill. The PC was a farmer and was hired as a temporary fill to the player's original character getting injured and needing time to recover.
Okay.
So the PC is kind of like a stand-in, right?
Yeah,
now.
okay.
This person's primary skill was in combat. However, there hadn't been enough time to really learn more about their character as they had missed the previous session.
Okay.
This person suffered severe injuries to their legs, their abdomen, and suffered an injured lung. I don't think I can say what that word is. Hey, listen, now we got monetized.
We're big time now, baby.
Making
big time, making the big bucks. Need to be careful.
They suffered injured legs, abdomen, and a damaged lung.
Okay.
Based on the description, I understood their injuries to be fatal.
Okay.
There was an NPC who was our only medic and knew. The other was an NPC who was our only medic and knew how to do surgery of that time period and other advanced medical practices. He was also a very strong fighter. However, he was mostly disliked by the group in general, NPCs and PCs. He suffered from deep, deep injuries to his leg and was losing blood fast. I had time to debate for a while, but was eventually given a timer to make a decision on who to save in a ritual with a death god I am an apprentice to.
Okay.
The ritual wasn't a guaranteed save, just an opportunity to help. The ritual required a sacrifice of an enemy and of a friend. I had to decide who to kill. In the end, I chose to kill the PC who had heavy signs of dying in order to save the NPC who appeared to be in a more stable condition. After completing the ritual, we made our way out of the caves, and that was the end of the session. After the session, we found out that the PC my character killed would have lived if she hadn't have killed them for the ritual. Despite being reassured that I didn't make a mistake, and the player himself saying that he would have done the same thing, I can't help but feel like an arsehole. So am I the arsehole for killing a PC's character when they would have lived if I hadn't?
Okay. So, just so I can get my shit in a straight line.
Get your eggs in a basket.
Get my eggs all in one basket.
Yep.
I imagine it was the DM that told this player that the other character's wounds were fatal.
I can assume so. Callie said that based on the description,
right,
she perceived them to be fatal.
So I imagine they will have like made a check between the two to see like their condition.
Yes.
And the information would have been given by the DM.
Yes.
As to what they looked like.
Yeah, and the PC, they had severe injuries to their legs, their abdomen, and they suffered a punctured lung.
Okay.
And based on the description, I understood their injuries to be fatal.
Yeah.
And then the NPC had wounds on both of the legs and was just bleeding out.
Okay. Right. You are not the asshole in this situation.
No,
just begin there.
No. First of all, you couldn't possibly, because the decision was put solely on you.
I don't know how I feel about. I don't think I would ever put one of my players in the situation where they could take another player's life.
I also don't quite know. However, Callie does say they play under a different system.
Yeah,
So
and also, that rule was put in place about, like, I imagine it's the death saves being secret. We do the same thing.
Yes, yeah. The DM rolled to see who would live and survive, but didn't disclose that information as we wouldn't.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.
No, and especially because she said that it was something they all agreed on.
I think the issue here is it should never be up to, like, if two people are down, like, I won't spoil anything for any online games or anything. If two people are down and you have one spell slot left and it's a revivify spell, you're going to have to choose between the two. Yeah. And there will be time restrictions there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would ever... The problem is they said... They obviously said they look fatally wounded.
Yes.
But then afterwards said
they would have lived.
They would have lived. That's not fair.
I feel like...
That's not fair.
Again, based on, like, the descriptions for them, but we don't really know if the DM said it looks fatal or if Callie was just... I would have heard the, like, the prognosis.
PCs and player characters, it takes a long time for some people to come up with them. I think I would have, as a DM in that situation, I would have said it looks bad, but there is a chance.
Yes.
Like, that always has to be clear.
I completely agree.
It sounded like you got enough information to know that this person has, like, an injured lung.
Yeah.
So I think you got enough information to know that this person could have been okay.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't think that's very good on the DM's part.
I feel like the DM has made this situation a little bit trickier for you. Although there is a few things here that I think we are maybe not considering.
Yes.
The fact that afterwards, the player of the character who died turned to Callie. I know, called you Cassie. Turned to Callie and was like, "It's fine. I would have done the same thing. You did the right thing."
That's such a great attitude from this person.
The PC who died was also a stand-in character for this person's main character.
Yes. So maybe it was, like, planned.
They were a temporary character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't necessarily know if it was planned because the DM said, "Oh, they would have lived." Do you know what I mean? So I'm
getting mixed vibes all over the place here.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like taking into everything that you were given, Callie, the fact that this was a temporary fill-in for this person, that you did perceive the wounds to be fatal and the other ones simply were not, and the fact that the difference in the player, the character was a farmer, the other person was a medic who...
Like, if somebody else goes down and nobody else can do anything, like, the medic is very important. So I understand why you would make that decision.
Now, if this character wasn't a temporary fill, I think my perception on this would be a bit different. I think I can only speak of this from a personal standpoint here.
Yeah. If it was a non-temporary PC.
If it was a full-time character, and I can only put myself in the shoes of, if this happened at our table, right, and my character was... this situation was happening to my character, and then one of my friends picked an NPC to save over my character, I would be very upset.
Yeah, I know you would, and I think anybody around our table would be.
Yeah, and I, at that point, would question why would you save an NPC over my character. However, they're a temporary character.
Yeah. The fact that it's a temporary character does make the difference.
Yeah.
I think. If it was a full-time PC, I don't think you could make that decision. Like, that's a real person's character who's put, like, time and effort into it.
I know.
Versus, to be said, an NPC, like, the DM is also putting time, but I don't think it is as important.
Yeah, I agree.
I do think I would, if the DM had done that and it was a full-time PC and then was like, the wounds are fatal, and then afterwards been like, oh, you could have saved them. That wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been good. Yeah. But I don't think you're the asshole. I don't think you're the asshole at all.
And the person whose PC you killed actually came to you and said, "Don't worry about it." So I know it's easy to feel like you made the wrong decision, but if that person's telling you honestly, then I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. But I understand why you would feel.
Yeah, it's a big decision to make. That's a lot of pressure to put on you.
I don't know if that pressure should have been put on you.
I don't think it should have.
Callie.
I don't think it should have. So I was trying to get at earlier. I don't think it should have.
I don't think that decision should have been put on you in that way.
No.
I feel like, and again, the fact that there was a timer on it, which I understand, there has to be time.
It does get to a point, like in combat, especially if it's in or just after combat, like when people are down and those death saves have gone, like there is a timer to some of these spells, like 1 minute and things like that. So that is important to take track of.
And to be honest, if you're in a situation like this, right, and let's say it isn't a temporary character, right, and you're being forced to make this decision, it sounds like you were comfortable making the decision, Callie. Yeah. And
I mean,
well, I don't know, because I guess and ask if they made their own decision.
Maybe this is only you can only understand this. If this isn't something that you enjoy, maybe you can have a word with your DM saying like, please don't put me in that situation again.
Well, the point I was going to make was people go on about metagaming a lot. People worry about metagaming. I think in a high stress situation like that, there is nothing wrong with pausing and saying, right, above the table, turn to that person who's PC and say, are you okay with this? Actually ask them the question, because I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
No, because I think a lot of people would disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
See,
to me, I wouldn't mind that as a DM, because, like, if it was, I don't know, if as a player who desperately loves their family, and it's between your player and a family member, and all of the players around this table knew that, and they turned to you and says, like, I know that nothing matters more to you than your family. Yeah. Would you like me to do this? So then I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I know that there would be some people who would be like, you can't ask that question.
See, again.
But that comes down to the table.
That does come down to the table. You're right. If it was me in that situation, I would definitely pause the in-game and I would turn above table to the person and I would just say, look, if I kill your character, is that going to be okay with you? Especially if it was their long-term character. Yeah. I would personally always pause and ask.
I agree. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I know that there's a lot of people watching this that would disagree.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is fine. I think it comes to the table. And like
it does.
If your table, like maybe you knew that your table wouldn't be okay with that level of metagaming, that's fine. But I think metagaming is something that you've got to gauge.
Yes.
Like some people would ban you from the table for doing that.
Yeah, true.
But I think there's a lot of people who would love you to take that into consideration. How the person is feeling.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. It does come down to the type of game you play. And you know what? We actually could be missing a huge amount of context here because we don't know what Luke gearing is.
Yeah.
Like that.
So no, I'm sorry.
You know what? We absolutely should have looked that up. And you know what? If we're missing some context because of this,
let us know.
I will look after this and I will put a little edit in this video.
Yeah.
Clarifying if we missed anything.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
So, I guess to answer the question.
No. You're not.
I don't think you are.
I don't think you are at all.
And I would love a bit more clarification on this, Callie. Like, were you happy doing this?
Yeah. Just remember that if you're not, you can speak to Tim about it.
Yeah. Just give us an update, Callie.
Yeah, please.
Would love to hear it. Okay, so that was the last of Am I the Arsehole?
Okay.
There is 2 more advice questions,
okay,
and then we're done. And our timer is showing 2 minutes and 30.
2 minutes?
We've been here for 2 minutes.
I don't think the people will be happy with that.
2 hours and 13 minutes. However, we have had to stop and pause a lot because people have been at the door and the dog, etc.
Yes.
So, this is advice number 5. Don't ask me what number.
Okay.
This was submitted by Anonymous, and they go by she, her.
Squad Blaster Anonymous, she, her.
Dear Margaret and Jack, I've just recently discovered your podcast and instantly fell in love with it.
Thank you very much.
You're doing an amazing job explaining different kinds of situations, giving your perspective on various topics. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. As someone who is still a new DM, I'm seeking some advice.
Okay.
I'm DMing my first campaign for roughly about a year now with my 2 best friends.
Nice.
Our game turned out to be extremely wholesome and all of us are having a really great time.
It's
Good
awesome.
stuff.
It's amazing.
But sometimes I do struggle with the different expectations and needs regarding my players. One of them, let's call them player A, is super invested in their character and spends a lot of time thinking and working on their stuff, which is super cool in my opinion.
Okay.
The other player, player B, is more of a passive in general, and sometimes their different styles and role-playing is making player A feel sad about the lack of interactions between their characters.
Okay.
We already tried talking about this, topic, but the main answer to some of the critique was that player B is just playing how their character would act. Do you have any advice as how I, as a DM, could help?
Okay. There isn't many of you, so the advice. I think the advice that I would give is like different tables have different people, and different people want different things from the game.
Yes.
So that's totally fine for player A and player B to like view the game differently.
Yeah, that's normal.
Have you spoken to player A about? Because you've only got 3 people in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you as a DM would play a heavy role as NPCs. And maybe there is... Have you done anything with like prominent NPCs?
Yeah.
Like recurring NPCs?
That's exactly what I was going to suggest,
Because my players get massively... For some reason, every campaign, there's like 1 or 2 NPCs that they just grow massively attached
Love
to.
them.
Can you fulfill that need of player A as the DM?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to suggest. Is there a way that you could incorporate an NPC? It doesn't have to be like a full-time second adventuring party, because that's a lot for you as a DM.
Yeah, it is.
But is there someone you can, like you said, have a prominent NPC who turns up a lot, who is in contact with player A a lot?
I have NPCs that come along on the journey.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the time they might meet somebody in a new place, and then that person will like be their guide for that place or something like that. I'll go as far to like roll stats, give them a class, give them a subclass, so they can fight alongside them and hold their own in combat. Have you talked to player A about you can fulfill that role for that player?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with player B saying it's just not what I'm... Yeah, like not what my character would do, because that's fine. Like, people get different things out of it. Like, because obviously you want to please this player and do what you can for this player, and there's nothing wrong with you fulfilling that. You are also a player. Yeah.
And it sounds like player B, if they're more passive, it sounds like maybe they're potentially a bit more laid back about it. And I think a good thing to do maybe is to talk to them individually and ask them what they want out of the game.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance there could be something they both want out of it. And then you as the DM, you can work your magic behind the scenes, and you can kind of put them in a situation that naturally will result in more role playing. And or not. And I think you need to find out from both of them exactly what they want and go from there.
It depends how... You said you're quite far into the campaign. Have you considered adding a third player?
That's also what I was going to suggest. I know that is easier said than done.
It's that is an extreme option, and everyone would need to be okay with it.
Of course,
like both the players, you would also need to I think the point of adding a player here would be to help player A have fulfillment.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would need a player that is going to be happy to role play along and explore backstory and things like that. Because it sounds like player B is happy to just come along for the ride.
Yeah, and that's that, we are kind of assuming that a little bit. Like, you do also have to take into account of, will player B be okay with a lot more role play in the game? It's hard because there's only 2 players that have totally different ways of playing. That is a tough situation. So don't worry for not being sure on what to do here.
I've never DM'd for 2 players.
No.
So the least I had was 3. And I think that I don't know. I hope one of those 2 options is good.
Yeah, I think the most feasible right now is for you to ask player A, or even, you don't even necessarily have to ask. You could just try and incorporate some NPCs a little bit more.
I would ask.
Yeah, I would ask. There's no harm in asking ever.
Yeah, but I think that's like, I don't know if you've already done that, and that might just be a null point because you've already done that and it's not been the same. So that would be my first go-to.
Same.
Have a prominent NPC, and maybe if they're away from the party, there's an NPC in my campaign called Dagmar. He's like basically like a friar, and
he's our good pal.
He works in the library.
He's very sweet,
and they all love him very, very, very much. He's not particularly. He would be useless on the road.
What? Oh, okay.
He would be,
yes. Oh, yeah.
He
worse
is
than
not
useless.
a fighter.
Yeah, no, worse than useless, actually.
So they all like to keep in touch with him. So
We
I
love him.
just gave them a sending stone.
So we can talk to him whenever we want.
They can just talk to Dagmar whenever they
'Cause we
want.
love
They can
Dagmar.
ask Dagmar questions, and they can do a little bit of research for him
Yep.
and things like that. So even if it's not somebody who can like fight, as long as they can like keep in touch with that ascending stone or something like that, is also a good way.
Yeah, definitely. Having the sending stone to Dagmar, chef kiss, love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I think, and again, have a conversation with both of them, find out what they both want out of it, and know implicitly what they want.
But there's a few options there, so
Yeah,
don't feel stuck.
No.
Don't feel stuck.
Sorry that wasn't maybe as thorough as it could have been, because it is a difficult situation.
Yeah.
But we hope this helped.
Yeah, I hope that helped.
And please give us an update. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know if
that helped at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope it did.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we are on to the last one of this whole episode.
Oh my
this
goodness.
long episode.
Long
episode.
episode.
This long
No. What's that? Is that advert?
It's the advert for the bubble gum.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay,
Is that not strong, man?
No, it's long.
Is
No,
it?
I think it's long. I
don't
think
know.
it's long.
Let me know if you know.
Yeah, hit us up.
But no one has a clue what I'm talking about.
Okay, so this comes from Anonymous, but they are she, her.
Anonymous Squad Blaster, she, her. Thank you for your submission.
So, hi Margaret and Jack. I desperately need advice. I've been DMing for almost 10 years. Wow. And my current table isn't known to be great role players.
Okay.
We try, but usually we end up playing ourselves in a fantasy world. Nothing wrong with that. We're starting a new campaign, and all this time... we're starting a new campaign, and this time all my players decided they will roleplay and not be themselves. Spoiler alert, they are mostly just themselves again, but in gnome form, and I love it.
In gnome form? Awesome.
This is the problem. PC A is lawful good, while PC B has shown to be lawful evil. Yet they... Oh, sorry. I think I've accidentally erased a thing here when I was scrolling. But I know that it says, yet they decide to work together for the sake of the party.
Nice.
A and B usually make decisions for the group, and they tend to clash. During the first arc, B repeatedly made rude remarks towards A due to them being a noble and other clashing values. A would shrug them off and reply with something witty. B's comments would range from, okay, princess, to, we can't all be as self-righteous. And A would clap back with something like, takes one to know one, or at least I have something to stand for, etc. Which I thought were great roleplay moments.
Yeah.
Their relationship seemed to be this fun-poking, argumentative one that, later in the game, could transform into a strong friendship like Legolas and Gimli.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love that.
Until last session.
Uh-oh.
The woman they saved offered them lodging, and everyone at the table accepted. But all of a sudden, B started calling A a bunch of uncalled-for, rude, hurtful names, and A snapped. It ended up becoming a yelling match for a few minutes. I stepped in because it was getting ridiculous, because this was all over sleeping at an inn. But I talked individually with them after the session, and they both said they were only role-playing and they just got carried away. But if you were at the table, you would know some words were aimed at the players and not the characters. I'm worried because they both confided in me individually a few weeks before that they didn't like how the other was playing their character. And because of that, if this relationship between these PCs continues this way, I fear it might bleed into our daily lives, because when we left the table, no one was in a good mood.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how to navigate this type of roleplay. Any advice would be helpful, whether it to be how to narratively make them get along. I don't want to take away their agency, or just to tell them to knock it off once and for all. And then they end up with saying also there's no way of them being romantically entangled, as one is girly pop. Don't know what girly pop means, but
neither do I.
I like it.
Nice. Okay.
And then they just end with thanks again.
Okay. I think you need to have an outside of the game conversation with both of these characters in the same space. I think you need to speak to them both at the same time.
Together,
and just say, because they both come to you and said these things.
Yeah.
You can be honest with them and say, you've both come to me and said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So what happened last session? I don't want to happen again.
Yeah.
For my benefit, for both of your benefits,
Yeah.
and for everybody else at the table's benefits.
Yeah.
Because I know that it was all role playing, but you can just be honest and say, I feel like it may have gone above that.
And to be honest, you don't even necessarily have to include the part of being like, you've told me individually.
You don't need to.
But,
you don't need to.
You know, there's a way to go about it, about saying like, look, this happened.
Yeah.
And you both said it was just role play and you got carried away. However, I as the DM, sense that there was more to it.
There was above table talk there.
Yeah, and everyone left feeling unhappy.
And nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, like, you are only 2 players in a group.
Yeah.
You need to, everyone needs to enjoy it. The DM needs to enjoy it. The other players need to enjoy it. It can't just, like, if their behaviour's making everybody else have a bad time.
Exactly.
That is where the line is drawn.
Yes.
And something needs to happen.
Exactly.
I would talk to both of these players and just say, look, your players are different.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
great.
And from day one, it looks like I love the little snack you remind.
You guys have great role play
It's
together.
great, but let's keep it that. I think sometimes we just need a reminder that we're all friends.
Yeah.
And it's not real. And whatever we're saying needs to be about our characters, not about each other.
Yeah, and you could just ask, is everything okay?
Yeah, like, is there anything that you two just want to say now?
Is there anything that I can do as the DM?
Yeah.
To
I don't think there is
this?
anything that you can do as the DM.
You know, it's always nice to offer that and say, is there anything I can do to diffuse the situation if it happens? I don't know. Just saw Jack.
They will have
pistol whip his head around.
The dog gets to a point where he just like cries and cries and cries and cries and cries, and he wants us to get up and do something else.
And Jack can't hear it very well through the headphones, so when he does,
when I do hear it, I have to just go, just give him the eyes to be like, a little bit longer. Please stop it.
Oh, sorry.
So if you see me do that, that's what I'm doing.
That's exactly what he's doing.
So carry on.
Yes, I think. Just ask them, is everything okay?
I think
it skirted the line of maybe going too far.
Yeah.
And say, I had to step in because it went too far.
And good on you for stepping in, because I think that was the right thing to do.
I think a lot of people wouldn't have.
But I think, like, if they're obviously not going to open the line of communication between each other.
Yeah.
So if you as the DM just get them in a chat, or if you want to get them together, like, and have a coffee, that's totally fine as well.
Yeah.
And just be like, okay, come on, it's D&D. We're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
And as soon as you break down that wall and allow them to have that conversation, there might just be a resolution that they come to themselves that you don't have to do, but all you did as the DM was
just put them together.
Put them in that situation.
You gave them the safe space to have the conversation.
Yeah, you brought them together to have the conversation. It's up to them to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you need to do.
I agree. And I think narratively, like you said, it's really hard to narratively try
you
to
can't force. Yeah,
you can't. So
you'll just end up railroading them, and
exactly. And like you said, taking away their agency a little bit.
And obviously that's something that you're conscious about, which is a great thing.
Yeah. It sounds like, again, you guys, you've not really role played before. You've always played yourselves. There is a chance that something was said that someone did take personally. So they got defensive and then they said something personal back.
And if that person can hear from the other person,
exactly,
like, oh no, I didn't mean it. It wasn't a snipe. It wasn't like a snipe at you. It was
exactly
like at your character. I don't think about that about you at all. Immediately, that, like, sometimes it's nice to just be reminded of that.
Sometimes it's nice to be reassured that like people aren't against
you. Because they're not. Well, most of the time they're not.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can be 10 years deep in, I don't know if your players are, but role-playing, if you've never role-played before, can be complicated.
It is complicated.
A little bit messy sometimes.
Definitely.
So I think, you know, if these are first time, like, really going for the role-play, just to have them have a conversation and be like, look, that isn't about you. Like, that is about your character.
Yeah.
It's probably reassuring for them to hear.
And to be honest, you said they both individually came to you prior. There is a chance that it could be something really small that they don't like, that maybe they can air out here.
Yeah.
Like, it could be something as simple as, I don't like your character calling me princess.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And there you go. Then that person can take it on board and be like, okay, that wasn't anything to do with you.
Yeah.
But if you don't like it, I'm more than happy to not do that.
Or I don't like it if you tell me how to do things.
Yeah.
Do you know, it could be something so simple that they wouldn't be able to have that conversation by themselves because it could potentially come across as confrontational.
Yeah.
So it's important, I think, for you to provide them, like I said, that safe space to air out any issues. I promise you will come away, all of you, feeling better, or if at the very least having the situation cleared up,
just resolved,
and knowing what the situation was.
Can I? This is the first time ever.
Go on.
We've been recording for so long.
Yep.
I've finished my drink.
Oh my goodness!
It's the first for the campaign.
I'm about halfway through the campaign. Congrats.
But yeah, I hope that.
Are you bursting for a wee now?
I am a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that is what I would do.
Yeah, I
Get
agree.
them together
Totally.
and like let them, because again, there is only so much you can do as a dungeon master,
Absolutely.
and obviously wanting to do something, that's your job.
Yeah.
Wanting to resolve any player conflict or anything like that.
Yeah, and especially if, like you said, everyone kind of came away not feeling very good.
Yeah, and you want like to want to change that is the first step, and I think that's the way to go about it. Is to just get them together.
Yep.
Start the conversation. Start it. That's all you can do. You can't sort the problems out for themselves.
Know that you're there and you're happy to help, but they need to have the conversation.
Yeah. And I think they will be. Yeah.
I'm again.
I hope they are.
I can only base this on like my experience. If that happened with any of us, I know for a fact it would be sorted and we would all feel so much better for it.
Yeah.
So, and hey, it's gonna be hard and awkward. You're gonna feel so awkward and so nervous, and it's gonna feel like the world is about to eat you up. But I promise
it'll be fine.
It will be fine.
It will be fine.
It always is.
It always is.
And
let us know how it goes.
Please let us know how it goes. Please. I hope that helped. I hope in all of this just helps.
Yes.
And gives you a perspective that
maybe you couldn't see before.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just reassure your mindset.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do most of the time.
I agree. I would like to think that is the situation. So I think that just about does it.
The long road.
The
end of the adventure.
The timer is showing 2 hours and 33 minutes.
Yeah.
I know we both need to go to the toilet.
I need a wee.
And I need to eat something.
Yeah. And I need to go pick up the Tesco shop. Just real life stuff, you know?
Just real life stuff. So, thank you guys so much for being here for our 17th episode.
17th episode. Squad Blasters Unite.
So much for enabling us to be in the YouTube partner program.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pip, for drawing my sweet girl.
Yeah, and let us know like all those things that we mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah.
Let us know those things. Like what like where do you want this to go?
Yes. What would you like from us?
You're just as much a part of this as we are.
100%.
We're just the ones that sit here and talk, but you know, like we talk about your problems and your like experiences. So
and can you also let us know if you did genuinely enjoy this longer episode? Because I know in theory it's nice to say, I don't mind. Did you actually, in theory, find it okay listening to us complain for like two and a half hours? Listening to us drone on. Listening to us literally pierce your ears. So if you enjoyed it, please leave us a like. Leave us a comment. We'd love to have a chit chat.
Yeah.
And drop us a subscribe.
And click the bell notification so you're notified whenever we upload a video.
And we are now on Spotify, friends. Well, that is it from us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. We have been the Eldritch Podblast. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.